Welcome to Glassrook University, new home to genius and adversity. In our hallways are characters with backstories tragic who fight against fate with metal or magic. These familiar stories with echoes still sounding leave blood on the floor and hearts yet pounding. A game of steam, madness, or hope not yet sunk. I am pleased to present Frankenpunk.
Hi! Welcome to Frankenpunk, specifically Season 2 Frankenpunk. All very excited for that. Ooh, delicious.
Glad that's catching on.
Thank you for coming to watch, even if it's just a little bit. Thank you for coming. It's going to be a very good time. And I should say something about this now, because I don't think a lot of people have realized that we're actually changing the format for Season 2, is that it's not just going to be one-shots, it's going to be small arcs. So this isn't going to be like, you're not going to see them next month. No, these guys are going to be here for a little bit. There's going to be 4 episodes for this arc. So this is Revisited Graves, or Revisiting Graves. Cannot remember the tense.
It's revisiting, yeah.
It's both.
It's both, whatever you want it to be.
It's simply Schrodinger's grave. We're starting this out strong.
It's
going proud of us.
All the giggles.
Oof. Okay, now we actually start this season and this episode specifically with Phelan Van Helsing. This day starts very, very early, and even though she was expecting it, she is still asleep. This is like early morning. It's like 5 or 6 a.m., but there's sort of a trip that's been planned for a while. But Phelan is stuck in a dream right now. And it's something that's familiar because it's been happening several times in the last few weeks, where you have a dream where you're sort of stuck in this sort of foggy room and area, and you can't quite make your way around it. You can see like the shifting fog, and there's not enough light to fully see anything. You see shadows moving from place to place. You can sometimes see people. And you haven't had another one of these dreams for a little while. Maybe you just haven't been sleeping well enough to dream at all, but the first time in a while, you're having one of those dreams. Where the fog is shifting and you can't quite feel yourself. You can't quite get your body to move as fast as you want to, no matter how like you're running through this. And same as last time you came across 2 sort of shadowy figures doing different things. One was trying to crawl through sort of the heavy fog, and one was seemingly shooting different directions. You come across this same sort of like crossroads situation. You see 2 people who are like moving in stop motion in 2 different directions. Which one do you choose? One of them is like throwing punches, like wild and like in a straight up like fighter stance. And the other person is also like clearly fighting, but like sort of like balls of like white and like sort of pink red are being like blown open, and then like just sort of seeming like doing some sort of arcane energy sort of thing. So do you try and go towards either of them, or, and here's a third option, you can just try and run away.
So one of them is throwing punches, the other one is doing some magical arcane shit. She's gonna run in the middle to kind of like stop the fight, if that makes sense.
Oh, they're not fighting each other.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So they're just by themselves, vibing.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
I think she would go towards the magic. She'd go towards the spellcaster, yeah.
Do either a nature check or a perception check. So you can try and like manipulate.
That'd be really nice. Okay. Perception. I'm gonna throw it in my tiny little cauldron. There you go. That's a nat fucking 20, baby!
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Already?
Starting off the first roll of the season.
That's my wife.
Oh, stop it. That'll be 26 in total, please.
Okay, that. You like move towards.
It's a good stream.
This is a good start to the season. I have something in my eye. So you move towards the person that's like doing this sort of like arcane energy, like wielding.
Yeah.
And as you move towards this person, like you kind of, last time you tried to move towards a person, it was kind of unfamiliar. You were pretty sure it was just a dream. But now you're kind of knowing that this is a sort of different thing that's happening right now. Mm-hmm. And you kind of move to part the fog because you have a direction you are definitely like trying to get to.
Yeah.
And as you move towards this person, you can see it's like immediately like she turns again because she hears something. And as she turns around, you see this girl with like elven features. She has like dark hair, and immediately you're very confused because your immediate reaction is, but then you roll the high enough perception that you realize this is not Carmilla, but this is someone who looks very much like Carmilla.
Okay.
She's got like dark hair that's like wild and tangled, and she's got like this shift that's on that's like kind of torn up and like charred sleeves, and she's got like her arms that are like pulsing, like her veins are like pulsing like bright red, and she's got like this bright like arcane that she like turns as she's trying to see, and then she's kind of like shocked by who like scared, and it kind of blows up in her face and it blasts the two of you back. And that's the end of Frankenpunk. Everyone's dead.
No,
I'm kidding.
Whoa.
Sorry. I thought that would be a fun little joke.
Oh my god.
It's a joke.
That was stressful.
Joke, laugh, it's funny.
It's a joke, it's a laugh, it's funny. So a quick little recap of what the little thing that just happened. Phelan in the early morning is having this dream that is something that's been happening recently, where she's seeing shadows and fog and everything, and she has tried approaching one again. And this person turned around. She rolled a nat 20 on perception. Mm-hmm. And this person turns around, and then the immediate reaction is that, oh, this person looks like Carmilla, but looking at her again, this is not Carmilla. She's like older, kind of a like different shape to her nose, slightly more curved face, and like her arms are like pulsing with like bright red veins and like doing some sort of arcane pull of energy. And as she turns around and like looks immediately afraid and accidentally like basically blasts the two of them apart, and Phelan wakes up with a start.
Did I recognize her at all? What kind of elf was she, for example?
She looked like kind of like a half elf.
Okay. It's not Mum. Okay. Shit. I was like, Mother? But no. Mama? Mother? She again wakes up in a cold sweat. She's done, I guess, like countless of times. Is she in her room at school, or is she at Laurie's?
Yeah, you're still in your room at school because this is like an early morning going thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so she just like she just sits there for a bit. And she's gonna get up. Has the sun come up?
It's like just coming up, but
Okay.
it's also like a very like overcast, cloudy day, so it's got like that
So
sort
England,
of like milky tone to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
True to the country. So she kind of
Actually, one of the factoids at the beginning of the stream is that Glassrook is not in England. It's the coast of France,
Right,
which
yeah.
I did not realize people did not know.
Even I didn't know that.
Yeah,
It's
I didn't
not
know that,
Hogwarts.
actually.
It's not in Scotland.
No, we knew it wasn't in Scotland. I just thought it was in England.
I thought it was London. I thought it was down south.
No.
Damn.
Oh, we're so down south that we're the coast, the English Channel, we're the coast of France. That's
Not
how south we are.
South.
South.
Anyway.
So true.
Anyway. Either way, with lovely knowledge, she's gonna just put on like a robe, and knowing that this is the day that they're gonna travel? Question mark. That is the day, right? 'Tis the day.
Yeah, today's the day they're gonna travel.
She goes literally across and knocks on Bonnie's door.
And Bonnie Blackwood is in there.
Oh, yeah.
Enter Bonnie Blackwood.
Enter, exit pursued by a bear.
Hello? Bunny's gonna like open the door. Just very blearily. Just be like,
Sorry, that was dark door opening. That was not what I meant.
it creaks open. You see a sliver of her face shrouded in shadow.
It's like an anime. There's like in an anime when you just like hear a like with like
You're the
background.
goth guy from Warren High School Host.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking
right.
about him as well.
Stop.
So
Let's not manifest this.
but yeah, she's gonna just just look at her like, hey, sorry. I had a weird dream again. I'm gonna write in my dream journal, I promise. But I was wondering if you wanted to get ready, pack and stuff together, or do you want to do it by yourself?
Sure, we can pack together, that's fine. I'm kind of already like halfway through, but because I didn't sleep, but you know.
At exhaustion.
Yeah.
Oh, you
can't say you haven't just slept and then just get away with that. At exhaustion.
I preferred it when you didn't think D&D wise and thought plot wise, like with flavor.
Unfortunate.
Well, it's still flavor. It'll flavor your dice.
I'm very uncomfortable with the energy we've created in the studio.
Perish.
Well, I have to go, guys.
RQ is starting off great, everybody.
But in the game for 10 minutes, Faye's already pointing a gun at my head. Alright,
no,
there's
don't
your
worry.
exhaustion.
I've got
Right,
2 of
we're
those ready.
Yeah.
I mean, only fair. Bonnie pointed a gun at Lori last time.
Get
Where are you?
over
Wait,
it.
I'm gonna shoot you from where I can see you on the fucking stream, right
that
there.
was-
Pew pew.
Not
Yeah.
long ago.
You just you deserve that.
Oh my god, David! I shot you like once.
Oh my god, David. Oh my god. Lori, it was like one time.
One time.
It's like once.
Okay, sorry. So she's exhausted. Sorry, back to the plot.
Yeah.
She was exhausted. She opens the door and like, I did not packing a lot of things really. Mostly just weapons, warm clothing. You've packed warm clothing and sensible shoes, right?
I took some of Kit's stuff because I didn't have anything that was really sensible for it.
You have the same shoe size.
No, not as Kit. Fuck off. Same shoe size as Kit. He's got monstrous feet.
That's what I was gonna say. Either way, you
No,
just
I
need
mean like
do you have
warm clothes.
Okay, that's good.
I have like thick heels.
No, no, Bunny, you cannot wear heels where we're going to.
But there are boots.
Boots,
They're boots.
and boots with heels are 2 different things.
They're thick though. They're not thin.
My
Where-
custom leather baby seal boots.
Bonnie's like, look, I spent a really long time making them, and I'm gonna take them. These are my shoes.
All right, if you...
I will take my lace-up flats. They've got a small heel, but they're smaller. I'll take those as spares.
All right, just... I don't want you to trip and break an ankle.
Can I break an ankle?
You could break
an ankle. I've never broken a bone in my body.
I hope this won't be the first time then. You know, this is going to be slippery and dark, and we're going to go probably up mountains and a lot of rock climbing.
I'll cast some spells, I'll be fine.
Right. Spells.
Right, sorry. I mean, I can give you some... I can cast some spells on you too.
No, it's fine. I no, it's... I'm just a bit jealous.
Oh, right. Well, you didn't have to be. If I could give them up, I would.
Why? It's like... You know?
I thought you were talking about heels.
Absolutely
Give them
not.
up, I would.
She would rather than give up her heels. No. Listen, no, it's just magic. I feel like it always comes at some kind of price.
Right. Well, I'll be in my room. If you...
Right, I'll finish up and then
we'll
come
make a
by.
list. I'll write down a list of everything I
A
have.
list? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
In case you lose something, and then you have everything you need, like when you go back again. It's called being
buy
practical.
something new. If you lose something, just buy something else.
We can do that too. But I don't want to buy new weapons, so I'm gonna at least, write my weapons down. So.
Right, okay, that's fine. Alright, I'll see you in a sec.
Okay. Good morning, by the way, I didn't say that.
Oh, right, morning.
Right, and she just turns around and goes. She feels
Bonnie like...
still feels really awkward because they haven't had the talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, Bonnie feels it. I think Bonnie was just very much just like awkwardly in the doorway and was like very much just like, like when people don't really know what to do with their hands, so kind of just have them here and then just like, the whole time.
Exactly.
She's gonna go back in and close the door and then like turn back. She was like, I'm half packed. Really, she's just got like a mountain of clothes and stuff that she hasn't quite... It can't fit in, right? So she's like, I don't know how to make it close. Right. I mean, I guess I don't need this gown. I'm not gonna wear it. I might.
How many suitcases is she planning on taking?
She's only taking one. She's not stupid.
Okay.
She can only cast so many spells.
Okay, well,
do you want to zoom the
Bonnie
camera on the boys, or do you want to continue here first?
No, Bonnie then takes a while to like get what she wants in her suitcase and actually close it, which does take a few spells, which I will not make you count.
Thank you.
I am nice sometimes. And Phelan gets the rest of her stuff ready, and the camera sort of pans over to Shelley's office where Lori is, because she wanted to see him before he went off on this sort of trip. And for the past like few minutes, it's been a bit of like pleasantries of like, how have your studies been going? Like, I gave you like this assignment. How did it go? Like, are you doing all right? And it's sort of like trailed off into a bit of like not like a stale air, but sort of like a not sure, like roll an insight check to figure like what's going on with Shelley.
Okay. That's a 9.
Oh.
Okay, you're not too concerned because like you see all like the Moriarty stuff on her desk, all the like sort of correspondence that have been going around, and it's not too out of like unexpected for her to be like kind of stressed from all this. And she just kind of sits there for a little bit, and she just goes like, try and be careful on this trip. I know you'll have plenty of protection there with everyone, but be careful.
Oh, just waltzing into some dark enchanted wood with some creepy castles. What's there to be careful of? Nothing there to see besides... Oh, okay, no, I take that back, actually.
Yes, thank you.
Will do. And he just smiles, and his fangs kind of glint in the light a little bit. Where if he could have a sparkle there, it definitely sparkled.
There's something that like does like go through Shelly's eyes, and you just like miss it in that moment of being like, you good? That there's just like a look that like passes over her face for a second, and she goes like, okay, just don't take risks.
Me? Take risks? Absolutely not. I love standing on the sidelines while everyone else does all the dirty work, and I get to talk about it later as if I was there.
Rude.
But
Okay.
of course, I won't take... And he kind of like looks away because he's very excited about this.
Yeah.
He's like, I won't take many risks. If that'll please you. And he's like very fidgety, and it like... The way that he's holding himself is very much not the former Lori, which was like very confident, and his body language was very much like a practice performance. This, he's still like getting to know himself now, and like will bump into things because he's not used to the spatial awareness difference from his new like limbs and length and everything. But
yeah,
he's like, can I go now? I want keep going.
Yeah, she sort of like stands up and like stands with her cane, and she comes around the desk as he like stand up too, and she just kind of she comes in. It's like a kind of a weird hug, but like it's
Okay. Are we
she does just kind of
all right. I'm scared to put my arms around you because I feel like if I hug too tight, you'll break.
She's like she like does it kind of lightly, and then she like brings her hand up and she's like, you can't die again. And then she goes back around the desk.
He kind of laughs at me as well, and like rubs right where the gunshot wound scar is on his chest, and he goes, I don't plan on doing it. Didn't plan on it the first time, but guarantee you I won't walk into that one this time. I guess. I'm not making this any better. I'm just gonna...
It's really fine. Have a good trip.
Okay, and he bumps into the door. And he goes, oh, sorry. And like...
You hear her go like, oh.
Alright, goodbye. And then walks out the door.
You start to make your way down like the stairs and everything. And out in like the front of the school is Lucian helping like sort of get stuff onto like the sort of rough carriage that you guys have for like this first part of the trip. And like Van Helsing is also there, like making sure the horses are all good, and just like they're sort of doing different little things. And like Van Helsing comes over to like Lucian's side. Lucian, what do you think you're like doing on the carriage?
I think what happened is that he showed up too early, and he wasn't expecting to help. He doesn't mind, but he wasn't expecting. And I think Van Helsing was just like, "You boy," and Lucy was like, "Me? What?" And just it's kind of just you know when you're helping like your uncle or like your dad in like the garage, and they're like, "Hold the flashlight for me, put the thing up there."
Yeah,
that's what's. It's just Van Helsing just being like. Do you know how to tie this on top?
Hold the wheel.
I'm trying.
Hold the wheel. I will get give me, hold it.
I've got it. I've got it.
Fold in the cheese. So many Schitt's Creek references being made tonight.
Okay, but how do I fold it? How do I fold it in?
Hold the wheel. Hold it.
I've got it. I've got it. And he is just holding. Does he see Lori walking up?
Yeah, you'd see Lori walking up.
He sees Lori and he gives him a little smile over Van Helsing's shoulder. And Lori, Lucian looks a little different. You've kind of noticed that he's been wearing makeup recently. You thought it was just a Lucian thing. So he usually, you remember him 3 years ago having freckles, just like his mother, just like Renee. And now you can see those again. He's not wearing anything. But also you see a few new scars that he didn't have last time you saw him barefaced. One on his chin, one across his mouth, and one just under his right eye. And he looks a little tired, some dark circles. He kind of smiles at Lori over Van Helsing's shoulder before, like, kind of remembering, oh, shit, right, I'm doing a thing. And goes back. Oh, right.
As Lucian's not looking, Lori just, like, tenses his hand a little bit because he notices these scars, and it just says something to him. And he just, his eye twitches a little bit, and he just puts on this very, like, practiced smile, but smoke kind of comes out between his teeth, where he's just has huffed in anger real quickly. And then he sees Van Helsing, and he goes, okay.
That was
He turns
hot.
and goes,
It's like cold air too. It's cold winter air, so it's very like you're
He's,
making
like,
like
trying to-
puffs of steam.
Do I see this? Lori looks at
I'm
Lucian
gonna
just
cry.
Lucian just
You can make a deception check if you want.
Lori's like, look away, look away.
oh, okay, and Lucian just immediately back. Right, right. So the wheel, right.
Like, you're embarrassed and you're blushing, and then someone's like, wow, you blush really badly, and you're like,
No, I don't.
thanks. But he's gonna try to calm himself down and like try his best to saunter over there and be like, I know what y'all are doing, and I could help if you asked me to.
And like Van Helsing like stands up and like taps the wheel with his foot, and he's like, "Yes, good job." Like just to Lucian.
And he gives him a little nod. He is already just like, I will not fuck with this man. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and he's got like full whiskey grandpa attire of like just like loose jacket. You can see like the suspenders and like the like Henley sort of shirt underneath.
I don't think Lucian even realizes that this is Van Helsing. I think he's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Random laugh.
A man with a stage presence has just grabbed him and he's like, sure.
Okay. Right. So true, bestie.
Such a bestie.
So true, bestie. So true. So true.
Stop.
Laura's gonna, after he calmed down a little bit, walk her up and put like a hand on Lucian's shoulder, and very much like the greeting thing. It's gonna go. So I see we're all ready here.
Just about. I think I already loaded your things up. Mine are up there. Phelan's are not down yet, actually. Ours
Yeah,
are
the Phelan and Bonnie are like slowly like coming out of the castle now, and it makes me think of the Steven Universe thing of like, you guys look tired, we look awesome. That sort of like energy of like both of them look very tired.
Lori is the only well-rested one on this trip. I love that for us.
Mm-hmm. What a
Phelan fucking
change. How
tried.
the
He's not
change.
well rested, but he isn't grumpy.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
none of us are well-rested.
You're not best.
Good. As soon as he sees kind of Phelan coming down, Lucian's gonna kind of like elbow Lori. You're not going to go greet your lady love cousin?
I would if Bunny was not right there.
The two of them just.
Look,
Bonnie is falling asleep against the pillar right now, just like suitcase in hand, kind of. It's just
I
very
like to think
tired.
that Phelan like catches her a bit like, whoa, steady on.
I feel like if she nudges her, Bonnie just slips forward slightly and then like is not even like wide awake from it, but just kind of stands upright and goes, great. I'm
how
awake.
far away are they?
Not too far. It's like 20, 30 feet.
Yeah.
20 meters.
Phelan's gonna wave at the boys, and then she's gonna do like one moment sign to them, and she's gonna turn towards Bunny a bit and just whisper, I just
Wow, you didn't take that well.
So she just like holds Bunny's like arms, and she's gonna be like, I know you're tired right now, and we're gonna be on a long trip together. I just wanted to apologize for the way I acted before. I know we haven't talked about it, but I didn't know. We were been so busy, I never knew when the right time was, and I know that no time is right, and I know that we're leaving now, and that is definitely not a great time. And I'm really bad at reading anything, and I just want to apologize.
It's okay. I mean, it's not okay. What happened wasn't okay, but it was
I should have
rough for
I shouldn't have
everyone.
reacted that way. I should have been a bit more empathetic, and I realized that a lot later.
Fee, I've known you for a very long time, and listen, I know your faults, Phelan, and what happened was scary for everyone involved. And it shouldn't be your burden to bear when you fall from a pedestal that I place you on.
Oh. Well,
I appreciate your apology, and you're forgiven.
Didn't expect that, to be honest, but
You're my best friend.
I've missed you.
I missed you too.
Now let's go to this trip and try not to die, okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bunny's like gripping her hands like behind her back, and there's like something on the tip of her tongue, but she keeps seeing Laurie and Lucian out the corner of her eye, and so she bites her tongue. She can't get it out.
Right, so is Kit not greeting you?
What?
Is Kit not saying goodbye to you, or is he on a trip?
He's gone away for a bit
Oh, okay. Well,
with Violet and my cat.
oh. Right, guess everyone needs a support animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, that's odd, but, I know you've at least sent a letter, so he knows where you go and if something happens.
Sure. That's the least that anyone would do when they go away.
Right, you're being weird right now, but I'm gonna chalk it up to you being tired, so we'll talk about this later, alright? Okay.
Sure.
Let's go. And then she kind of like leads Bunny, and she's like, that was weird, and she's gonna like, I will remember this later. This has consequences.
The butterfly.
The butterfly.
Yeah, it should be noted that this takes place about 2 months after the events of Trader of Glassrook.
But the thing is that Bunny and Phelan have not spoken about personal things.
Yes,
During those
that
2
too.
months.
But I want it to be known. It's been 2 months since the events of Kit and Violet disappearing.
Spicy. She's gonna go over to the boys, and she's gonna see Laurie, and she's gonna smile. She's felt really tired, and then she sees him, and you just see her light up a bit. She goes and she goes like she takes his little. She takes his hands, and she goes on her tiptoes and kisses him. Said, "Good morning, sweetheart."
Van Helsing is like by the carriage, and he's like, what are you doing?
We haven't started our mission yet, now have we, Uncle? So I'm allowed to be a tiny bit flirty with my boyfriend. When we step on the carriage, then the mission has started and I'll be professional. But let me have that one little moment, shall we? Or are we going to fight about this as well?
He just like goes around and like makes sure the other wheel is settled.
Let me have 5 minutes of peace before I go complete professional.
His tail is almost wagging behind him, and he goes.
It is smacking Lucian in the calf. Just ow.
And she's gonna go back to Laurie and be like, and then just like take his hair, like, you look very sweet today.
Laurie's like all giddy,
Kicking his little feet.
the bag kicking his feet.
Kicking his feet. So she's gonna look at Lucy and be like, good morning.
Good morning.
And then she's gonna look
see you.
away.
Okay.
She's gonna
Okay. As soon as he's still talking as she looks away and just okay, and cuts himself off.
Laurie's gonna look between them and be like, I see we're making progress. There's no fighting. I'm so proud of you guys.
Van Helsing is has now come around the other side and has just kind of taken Bonnie's suitcase and is like, come on. And is just trying to get this trip on the road.
Lucy's gonna remember himself and offer to take Phelan's, with just a. Is that okay?
yeah, sure. And she gives it to him. It's really fucking heavy.
Mm-hmm. Strength check.
He's probably stronger than him.
Make a
Phelan's not
strength
very
check.
strong.
Are you serious?
If he doesn't, can Laurie catch it?
That's 15 plus.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
18.
Yeah, you're good.
Phelan's strength is 0, so.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you swing it over your shoulder and just walk around starts putting it on the back of the stuff with Van Helsing and Bonnie, and they've gotten basically everything strapped down as well as it needs to be. And this isn't a closed carriage. This is an open carriage.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There are several little blankets kind of in there, but there's not much.
Yeah, cool. Great.
Before that, I guess Laurie's gonna try to say hello to Bonnie in a very weird, awkward way because he's like, I know I'm supposed to, but I don't know how to talk to you right now. So he's gonna kind of shuffle over and he's like, Bonnie,
Laurie.
how are things with you currently? Now.
They're So you and Phelan are dating?
Oh, yeah, that's happened. Love how you avoided my question. But yeah, and he gets.
I
all,
like to
shy
think that Van Helsing is standing kind of next to you guys and is still just God.
I think even just to distract herself from even looking at Laurie, she's just gonna push Van Helsing aside and just get in there with the tools and just start wrenching the wheel to start putting it in place because she's just I'll do it faster.
Laurie's kind of well, I hope there's no Okay, I'm just.
There's
Pleasure doing business with you, and he's gonna go. He does pick her gun and leave.
He does turn to speak to him, and then he's already walking right by that point, so she just goes, "It'll probably come up." And
I didn't quite hear the end of what you just said.
No, she just said it'll probably just come up later then. That's
Okay.
all. So
Van Helsing is still standing behind you as well, and he's like, "There's time. It's a 2-week trip."
Wait, 2 fucking weeks.
Fuck.
I
Yes.
told you, Phelan. I told you it's gonna be a fucking while now, didn't I?
Oh.
Sturdy clothes, sturdy boots.
Do you not bring sturdy boots?
She brought
I
heels.
have my boots. They're sturdy heels.
He starts just cursing in Elvish as he walks away.
Oh, you know what? I can fucking understand what you're saying. She's going after him I feel just drifting off. She's like, I can fucking understand what you're saying. Don't even try to pretend.
And so then after that, you guys all kind of get into the carriage just for this awesome little ride. And Van Helsing is sitting up in the coachman's seat, and it starts driving the horses around. And as he goes, he sort of gives a bit of an overview, and he's like, "Well, I thought that there was a bit more clarity than bringing healed boots. But this trip is to go back to Dracula Tepesh's castle to clear the area of any arcane echoes that may remain from some events dating to over 20 years ago. It will be dangerous and we will have time to plan. But it will not be an easy trip. And I suggest that if you can get any rest, you take it.
Right. How are we sitting, guys?
Yeah, what's the seating arrangement?
I was literally
One
gonna
big bench, or is it two facing each other?
It's two facing each other.
Lucian's across from Lori.
Oh no.
Oh no! I was gonna say that Bonnie and Phelan were sitting next to each other.
I think Lucian assumed that Phelan was going to want to sit next to Lori.
I was thinking that she was gonna face Lori and sit next to Bonnie, so she's furthest
fine.
away from Lucian.
Lori is just very cramped sitting.
Yeah, that's fine, because I feel like Bonnie would want to be facing Lucian and next to Bonnie, so she's the furthest away from Lori.
Cool. All right, that works too. I just assumed that you were gonna want to sit next to Lori. That's all. That's also fine.
Look at us.
So that's how we're sitting. So that's how we're sitting.
No.
Well, I mean, does Phelan want to sit next to Lori so that way she can sleep on him? Because that's also cute.
Yeah, that's what I assumed you were gonna do.
That is also really cute.
Also fine.
And Bonnie will sit opposite Phelan and next to Lucian.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
so Phelan and
that's what I
Lori
said.
are sitting next to each other, and then she's facing Bonnie, and Lucian's sitting next to Bonnie, facing Lori.
I got sweaty hands.
Yeah.
Maths.
There we go. Yeah.
Lucian across from Lori, Phelan across from Body. Okay.
Lori, it's a little weird how comfortable Lucian is just sitting next to Bonnie. Like, he doesn't look particularly uncomfortable sitting next to her.
She also doesn't look mad about it.
Lori's just trying to look anywhere besides either of them in the eyes right now, because he's just like...
With the two people he's most uncomfortable with at the moment in like a current tension level, just his eyeline.
Yeah, he's like, what about Dr. Van Helsing's head is spectacular right now. And
He's got a sturdy hat on and everything. Just like,
and then he kind of adjusts himself so like he's kind of like this because it's a little easier for him to sit.
Wait, where is Phelan then? Is she like by where, like on his back, just getting all that weight, or is she?
No.
I
think he's corners. Something and
he's in a corner.
She's like leaning this way.
Gotcha. Cool. I was like,
so he's like this. And he's just like kind of lounging, trying to not be, because he also doesn't want to be too in Bonnie's face, because he's like, this is awkward for her. I know it's awkward for her. I don't like her, but I don't want her to be like upset and like hurt more than necessary right now. So he's like, I want to be lovey-dovey with my girlfriend, but my cousin's right there, and my sworn enemy? Question mark? Who shot
sworn enemy?
I don't know. Do you shoot your friends?
Yeah.
Well,
it was an accident.
He's got questions. He doesn't know where he stands. So he's just like, I'm going to not think.
It's just, so we're just riding in absolute silence the first like 15 minutes of this ride. I guess.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do like a bit of a time jump. So like, over the next 2 days of like traveling, and like there's small little things that like happen of like small research, staying. Bonnie, how well do you think she's? How well do you think Bonnie is sleeping over these next 2 days? Do you think it warrants her getting that exhaustion off?
I think she takes enough like short naps in that sense for it to like come off, but I don't think she's getting like long chunks. I think she's just taking naps here and there. She's not comfortable physically because it's cold and it's like with people.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's very much like a cat, you know, where they're like, they don't like sleeping around places they don't feel safe, and they have like one eye kind of cracked open. I feel like that's kind of where she is at the moment. She's also very anxious.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is no.
No.
Oh.
Damn.
You listed too
After-
many reasons.
For 2 days of Bonnie just continuously falling asleep, I'm guessing sitting up, Lucian just kind of leans over like, do you need to like lean on some? Are you all right? You could. He's just very uncomfortably.
Fine. She's gonna pat his face just because it's there, and that's like that. She's not looking at it, so she could very well just be patting like right here.
He just very, very gently takes her hand. Oh, okay, all right, and is just gonna pat her hand and place it back. In her lap.
Phelan's gonna take one of her like really thick capes that she's packed. She's gonna fold it up into like a pillow shape, and she's just gonna give it to Bonnie. Be like,
Yeah.
come on.
Thank you. And then she's just gonna put it here,
I'll
like
keep
kind of
both-
shuffle down.
I'll keep both my eyes open if you close both of yours. Alright?
Okay.
Okay.
She kind of curls up in a ball as best she can, and does like I guess she kind of dozes off a little bit.
I don't get all these exhaustion points, right?
Yeah. Van Helsing, like, yeah, you take the exhaustion off. And like since this is happening during like one of the like the second or third day of traveling, Van Helsing is like Bonnie like falls asleep that way. He like turns around and sees that and he just like snorts and like you guys see him do this and he like registers that and he's like, Mina used to do the same thing.
Stop! I need to leave.
Oh.
Used to be too paranoid to sleep, Uncle. Wouldn't have guessed.
And he just like turns around and like sinks down a little bit because this is a whole trip of memory lane, literally going down the same path.
Lucian shifts very uncomfortably in his seat and just kind of like is looking to Lori like,
Or he's like,
Oh, did you say Mina? I used to do the same thing.
No, Mina.
Oh,
Mina
I
used
heard
to.
I used to do the same thing. I didn't hear Mina. Sorry, I'll take that comment back then. I'll take it back. Sorry.
retcon.
I didn't hear Mina. Sorry.
Then
Mom.
then Van Helsing is just like she had a hard time sleeping for quite a while. Jonathan used to do basically the same thing with his colds.
You never really talked about everyone during this trip.
Well, it's... And he, like, kind of, like, stops for a second. And, like, this is, like, a very... Like, the carriage is going, like, slow and stuff. It's not, like, fast or anything. So he's, like, kind of, like, relaxing a little bit with, like, the reins in one hand. And he just kind of, like, stares off into, like, kind of the side woods and everything. And he's, like, kind of contemplating and, like, lost in his thoughts for a minute. And he kind of turns around a bit and he's like, it's hard to talk about a time in your life when you have lost someone. We all know this, I think.
Just because it feels like it was a big thing. Who was it that died on the trip?
Quincy Morris.
Wait, Kit? Kit's dad?
Yes.
Laura's face twitches at Kit's name for a split second.
So,
But he goes,
Lucian just looks at Lori just...
Laura's like,
she doesn't notice. Phelan doesn't. Phelan doesn't. She,
You feel the power of Renee Archambault looking at you, Lori.
and Laurie's looking away suddenly.
The clouds.
Ooh, cheese.
So,
very nice.
Bonnie's sleeping, but she's like, Uncle, Bonnie said earlier, I don't want to wake her up, but she said earlier that Kit is on a trip, probably with Violet and her cat. Do you
Lucian's
think...
head cocks at that, and he looks at Valen.
Yeah, that's what I heard. What? Have you heard something different?
He's not on a trip that he voluntarily
He's-
went on.
He's missing. He and Violet both went missing at the end of last semester. They've been gone for 2 months now.
Did you not know?
I would have
No.
told you. I assumed.
No, you
I
didn't tell
thought
me.
that Shelley. I thought Shelley would have told you. I'm so sorry.
Shelley doesn't
I
tell me
assumed-
shit.
Okay.
No, she's right. Shelly does not say that. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's alright. It's more. She kind of looks at sleeping Bonnie. More her I'm worried about.
I've been keeping an eye on her. She's been doing about as well as anyone can expect.
Van Helsing also kind of has been contemplating something for a bit while this is going on. He's kind of like cracking his knuckles absentmindedly and kind of turns a bit more and he's like, and I'm not going to lie and say that Quincy was a perfect person because I know that a lot of that gets inflated after a person dies. And I'm not gonna lie and say that he wasn't a good person. But he also had some particularly difficult demons of himself, in himself, that he had to compete with towards the end.
Still, he fought with his friends on a very dangerous mission.
No, he fought for his friends and with himself in many ways. Something of a genetic trait in the family.
I'm all right. I meant that he fought for a noble cause.
That too.
Right, I'm getting to know a lot more than I thought that I was gonna.
Yeah, he like turns around fully back into like, and like makes the horses go faster, and that's sort of the end of that snapshot, I think. But I'm gonna then skip forward a little more towards like the end of that day because I feel like Lori and Lucian would probably try and talk about what just happened there. So like the
happened where? What happened?
nothing.
Nothing happened.
Me? No.
I'm guessing that Phelan, I can to help the boys out. She's gonna also just take a nap now as well, knowing that they have their eyes open. She can if she if you like.
Well, no, I'm gonna skip for like that can still happen, but like I'm gonna skip forward to like that night they like you all stop at like another tavern, another inn,
you. Okay,
and like
that helps.
let the horses off,
and
like
cool.
yeah,
cool.
recoup and everything.
Sorry.
And as like no, you're totally good. So then like Van Helsing is like setting the horses off and everything, not off, but like letting them rest. Just
be gone.
These horses, completely tame, not used to the wild, just stand there like.
Took me out. I'm so
wild horses, you know.
Anyway.
Well, anyway, so, this sort of thing, and like Bonnie and Phelan like go like get a meal, get ready to like take a bath after a second. Bonnie takes like a bath like every inn they get to in the last 3 nights. It's kind of a little excessive, 100%. But it's Bonnie.
Wait, can I ask? Did Bonnie pack like lavender petals, like various things to like make the bath?
She packed like lavender oils and such. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But Phelan does actually ask, like, sorry, can I actually also borrow some?
Of course you can.
Thank
you. I've got rosemary too.
Oh, I love rosemary.
Meanwhile, down kind of in the main area, probably also like Phelan and Bonnie probably went and like took a bath first, but Lori and Lucian are like getting food, and Van Helsing is like still tending to like the horses and the carriage and everything. And it gives them a bit of a moment in like the time to kind of figure out what's going on a little bit.
On God?
You sit across from each other as you're like wait, like you already like put in your order with like the counter and everything. And you're just kind of sitting at this like table because like you can't go up to the rooms yet, and you're waiting on the food, and it's like
Lucian is very staunchly just examining like the wood grain of the table. I missed breakfast this morning. It's unfortunate.
Wait, did you say you missed or I missed?
No, I mean he missed it as in like he missed having it because they had to leave so early.
Oh yes. Lori's like, I'm surprised you missed breakfast, honestly.
And that Lucy just looks up and kind of cocks his head. And what do you mean by that? Can't miss spending time with my cousin?
After the last time, I don't think you quite enjoy having breakfast with me after our little conversation.
And just Lucian shifts in his seat, and you see he while you're talking now, he is scanning like the entire room, just out of habit now of just constantly on the lookout.
See, right there. That's how I knew you didn't miss it. Really.
That's not about you. We're in the middle of God knows where in the tavern, headed to one of the most dangerous places. Who's to say who knows where we're going? Who could be following us? People went missing at your school, Lawrence. Is that not important to you? They could want you next. You're a very important man in this country.
I barely go to school with enough people as it is. I don't care about myself. I care about my friends and my family and the people that I love. And you are one of those people.
Don't say that. And he just sighs. I'm not avoiding you.
You're what?
This isn't. I'm not. What?
No, I'm asking. What are you doing then? If you're not avoiding me.
I've been coming to breakfast. I've been talking to you. I'm on this trip. I'm befriending Phelan. What do you want me to do? What more can I do?
I don't know. Maybe. And he takes a little moment, and he's about to say something that's cutting, and he knows it, and he's like, yeah. And he doesn't want to say it, but he goes, maybe out of the two of us, you're the one who should have been the bard because you're a stellar performer.
As soon as you say that, his face just goes stone, and his jaw clenches as you say the words, maybe you should have been a bard. And you have wounded this man. You don't know why. And he just kind of lick rust. He shifts again into the and he kind of, are they sitting in like a booth or at a table?
Like a table.
Okay. Is Lucian's back like to the wall or to like people?
I think Lori probably took the section to the wall first.
He gets you see his he just kind of flexes and gets uncomfortable and tries to sink down in the seat a little bit to kind of protect his back. And he looks down and away, and you see the muscle kind of working in his jaw as he kind of processes that comment. Well,
Lori says it, and he goes, like as if he wants to take the words back as soon as he said it. He just goes, and he hangs his head a second. He goes, "I'm sorry. That was."
It's all right. It's fine.
No, it's not.
Just getting. Yeah. It's not, but it will be. Yes? And he offers him just a little sad smile. Yeah, we're just we're getting used to each other again. It's been 3 years. We're both different. And he kind of gestures at just this is very, very different. In a good way, it suits you. It really does.
Really?
Yes.
I don't look fiendish.
Nah. It's nice. You take up more space in a room. You always should have.
That's when he's just like, he laughs a little bit because that was just and he just goes, so it's so awkward having Phelan's uncle here with us right now.
It's weird. No, it's weird. It's a little weird.
So weird.
I didn't know he was Phelan's uncle until like she said something, and now I get. Yeah. No, I get it. It's same person, different fonts.
It's you don't understand how stressed I am. I'm trying
I can feel it. Like I thought. She thought that you were going to break the arm of the carriage because you were just holding it so hard, and
I'm so nervous because I want to
take a
impress him,
breath.
but
You're fine. You're fine. He's not worried about you.
smoke everywhere. So,
Van Helsing comes into the tavern, like from the carriage.
Do I see him?
Yeah, he just like
I
opens
kick
the
Lori
door.
under the table. I kick Lori under the table.
He doesn't even like go over the table. He just walks up to like the counter to like make sure that he paid for the rooms correctly, and then goes up the stairs. Like doesn't really like.
We watched the whole
Like,
time.
He's
Just
just
silent.
like, they're fine.
Okay. It's weird. Weird.
it's weird. Yes. You
It's
should have
odd.
seen him. You should have seen him at Bonnie's birthday party, which was. Talk about a party. You should have been there.
I don't think I would be very welcome, but
No, but
well,
you
maybe
went
now
to-
Bonnie and I are getting along now. That's
Surprisingly,
odd.
would have
Yeah.
bet money on the opposite, but who
Yeah.
knows? I'm not.
She's a
betting
lot
now.
like she's a lot like my mother, so 18 years with that.
I hate how
I
you made
think
that
it-
correlation because now I'm gonna think about that and just
No, but you see, you see it
Yes,
though,
I-
don't you?
see it angrily. I
Mm.
see it.
I know.
Oh no.
I actually, I gave her some of my mother's old blueprints and things. It's a bit of a peace
Oh.
offering. And he's once again fiddling with his fork, trying desperately to open up to Lori in any way.
He's like, well, that's surprising. That was really nice of you, actually.
Oh, gross! Ugh.
Oh.
Not nice. I'm mean. I'm evil. I refuse to help people. Ugh.
Yes. So evil, covered in all those ruffles.
Oh. Oh, you really want to talk, Mr. Gold Filigree? And he kind of flicks like the shoulder pad of one of the of the cloak.
It's like, what about it? It's good. It's dashing.
You
good? Liked it.
Wait, the way that like he's like a gold compliments my complexion now.
Yeah.
Warm tones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying something new, and I kind of like it.
No, it's a choice.
I know you. And I know that was an insult.
Oh, that's true. But if I can't insult my family, who can I? Certainly not Phelan. I think she might actually shoot me. And then immediately realized what he said and just.
It's okay. We can laugh about being shot. It's funny.
Okay.
Laugh. It's funny.
It's a joke. Laugh. It's funny.
Yeah.
No, she has good taste, I suppose.
Oh.
Oh,
And the
shut
video-
up.
Oh.
Oh no! Shut up! Get off me.
Mm.
Ugh.
I'm glad that you two are starting to not get along per se, but not be at each other's throats anymore.
I was never at her throat. A little obnoxious, yes, I will give you that. But at her throat, Lawrence, you wound me. I'm wounded. How could you say such a thing?
I just wanted you two to get it on.
Well, we're getting there, but you can't rush these things. Just because you love someone doesn't mean the other person is going to. You know?
Hmm. And he's gonna kind of like look up to where their room is supposed to be, or like in the general direction of them, and he just goes, "I think she's it for me, Lucian."
You also like kind of feel inside your coat that there's a letter that's kind of been there for a little over a week. It's like a confirmation letter from a smithy who's making a pistol.
Oh!
Oh.
He's gonna kind of
Stop, that's
mess
so
with it for a
cute.
second and then just put his hand back out. He goes, "So I just."
It's a good match. Your parents would like her.
I feel like after like a good match, behind you just suddenly realize Van Helsing is there.
Stop. Oh my God.
He's
Just
right.
fucking-
He's right behind me, isn't he?
He's got like the food that you like ordered, and he's like, plus like a plate for himself, and he's like, "I got the food, also beer,"
Oh my
and like sets it down.
Thank
Lucian physically restrains himself from asking about like wine or champagne. He's like, oh, okay.
So, thank you for this, Mr. Van Helsing. It was very kind of you.
Oh, thank you. So, this mission, is it more of reconnaissance, seeing what's there, or are we for sure going in guns blazing? What is
There's a heavy emphasis on the first of doing as much collection as we can of sort of data. Going in, seeing if we can find the remnants that sort of mineralized arcana, if there is any. Trying to find that, possibly destroy it, and if we can, before probably nightfall, that would be best. Night is a lot easier for echoes to be active. It's, how can I describe this? It's, you know how things can only certain kind of shine with light if you put light into like a crystal, a rainbow, a prism, you know? You need that light to make the prism. Well, night is sort of that light for echo. It's easier for them to take up room without other light already containing that space. It's a lot easier for them.
Interesting.
Good to know.
Have you dealt with this?
The most
stuff
awkward
before?
silence.
Yeah. Laurie's like trying to sound like he knows what he's doing, but he's just along for the ride.
Can you roll performance for me?
Absolutely, I can.
Lucian
wait,
is just eating his food and letting Lori just do whatever.
I forgot this is my first time rolling performance where it's not his normal stats.
I was
from
literally
before.
waiting for you to realize that. I was like, sure, babe, roll performance without your
You
bar
did it with,
stats.
you did it with
fucking
so
20.
much confidence.
I got a natural 20. And plus
Holy
2 for 22.
shit!
I swear.
That's beautiful. I believe you. That's beautiful. You like immediately you lean forward. You've got you have years of doing this, of pretending you have full confidence even when you know you don't quite know as much as you do. And you what was the question you asked before?
Is that have you had much experience with this kind of stuff before?
And he kind of is like, yes, this is, to put it lightly, sort of my job. I hunt down sort of arcane echoes, sort of things people can't explain, but us being elves, we have sort of a lot of experience with this. This is sort of a Van Helsing thing.
Wow, I love Supernatural.
We have years of simply learning, writing down our learnings, and then passing it on. There's really only me and Phelan left. He sort of sips his beer, thinking of obviously being oh fuck, I shouldn't have. So this is a bit of experience for me. Yes. And I also know quite a bit of different infectious diseases, particularly caused by arcane or the arcane sort of ingestion. Sorry, English is rough.
So people have eaten it before and then
No, it's more of prolonged exposure of. I mean,
Laurie's
arcana
genuinely
is
fascinated, but he's also asking stupid questions because he's like.
Well, Van Helsing, because you rolled perfect on performance, Van Helsing is very much oh yeah, you need to know this, and you're asking questions, which is good. Because if you don't ask questions, then you die.
Correct.
And if you don't have the knowledge, you don't
just die.
That's the Van Helsing thing.
I'll die.
um. Oh, right. I was trying to remember what I was saying.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. And he kind of like talks of like, well, it's how the sort of elves emerged and how sort of gnomes and dwarves and such have emerged because, I mean, arcana is generally everywhere. We've only discovered like the true effects of what it is really, and we still don't know. We just know that it's a
I know
cause. Yes.
Exactly.
And so over time, you know, a village can be over a small vein of mineralized arcana. And then they can, over time, sort of adapt with it to the environment. You live in a mountainous area and you have a stream of mineralized arcana near your village. You might adapt a bit heartier into a dwarf. Be able to carve yourself into the mountain. Shit happens.
Interesting. Sorry, I'm
He's like kind of finished his like beer by this point, and he's just like, good
Lori's
meal.
like, I want to ask him if he overheard us talking, but Lori's like, I don't know.
Give a second, Laura.
Lucian, no.
Sorry, I just put in the chat and asked that their Discord just crashed.
It's okay.
Lucian
Let
has
us go.
dissociated from this conversation.
It's okay. Let us go over to the little waiting screen as we try to get our dear Sawyer back. Give us 2 seconds, guys, and hold on tight to your seats. So's back.
Ah.
On his phone.
Yeah. Lucian like fully walked away from like the conversation that like Lori, because like Lori and Van Helsing were like having like a good conversation, and Lucian
heads
fully just
together.
and Lucian like did not want to like didn't want to like be under the sort of deadpan gaze of Van Helsing that's like kind of hard to read.
Lucian's like, he's gonna figure something out about me that no one else is.
Van Helsing looks at him and he's like, "You're gay, aren't you?"
I said something that no one else knows.
I was gonna say.
What? Anyway.
Bare minimum perception check. Rolled a 1. Yeah.
I thought there was something off about you. You're gay.
Stop. I'm gonna cry.
Anyway, Van Helsing kind of like sets down his glass and kind of starts to get up, and he's like, "It was good talking with you, Lori. Lawrence? Lori? Or
You can call me Lori.
but no. You can call me Abraham." And he stands up and like leaves.
He's like, we'll be family soon. I hope for the good son. Okay, where did my cousin go?
Lucian went to go see about actually getting like an alcohol that he enjoys drinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like you guys just kind of like have an all right night after that.
Yeah.
And panning.
You need to do the audio where it's just like, "Are you a beer or cocktail man?" It's like,
And Lori,
cocktails.
cocktail.
And so then we kind of pan up back into like sort of the room that Phelan and Bonnie are sharing for the night in the tavern. And they're kind of having like almost a little spa night sort of thing, because like Bonnie sort of like shared the oils, and like they've got like a good like moisturizer and stuff. And you're almost like doing each other's nails. Like
I know, Phelan's doing her nails. Phelan doesn't need her nails to be done because no one's gonna see them. Gloves always, baby. So, yeah, she's just doing, like, of course without gloves, but doing Bonnie's nails. And she's gonna just look down, like, and also with dexterity 20, I promise you're gonna get the best nails.
roll sleight of hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want me to roll sleight of hand?
If you roll low and chip one of my nails, I swear to God, this conversation is not gonna go well.
Roll an at one, I dare you.
And
You chip-
sorry, that was
Do
Colin.
it.
It's only fair.
Don't worry, baby, that was an unnatural 20.
Wow.
That's
Why
15 plus 5.
You do nail
I
art.
saw you
too.
ready.
You do like some really good nail art. A perfect French tip. Just-
Thank you.
So yeah, she's just having, you know, with her like bruised, ugly hands, she's making Bonnie's very pretty. And she just looks down and she's like, "So I heard something from the boys while you were sleeping."
Instantly, she stiffens because there's so many things she could have heard.
Very sorry that you didn't feel comfortable enough to tell me that Kit's missing. I guess, of course, I understand that we haven't been as close and you haven't been comfortable enough to tell me. And I'm very sorry that you've been going through that and I haven't even, you know, been a good enough friend to check in on you.
No, it's... she's instantly going to pull her hands away
Okay.
and just stiffen slightly. And she kind of doesn't know what to do with them, so she's kind of just... They're quite kind of almost in this like claw-like position as she's kind of just got them close to her. And she swallows this huge lump in her throat before she says, it's hard to talk about. It's just hard to talk about with you.
I know that I haven't been the best friend lately and I'm very sorry.
No, Phelan, please, Phelan, don't apologise. You have done nothing wrong.
And I'm I'm really bad at reading situations. Could you tell me what I'm reading wrong? I'm trying to be better, but it's really hard.
Oh, God. Bonnie's gonna stand up and just pace for a moment as she's trying to work out how to speak and get words out of her chest, because it feels so tight in her rib cage. Like everything she wants to say, it feels like every part of her body is trying to close up to stop it from coming out. Before she turns and goes, it's hard because I don't know how to feel about any of it.
Okay.
And it's a lot. Kit told me he loved me.
Well, that's a good thing, right? You're gonna get married. So hopefully he does.
Right, but I wasn't getting married to him because I loved him.
Well, then that's an extra perk then, isn't it? Wait, you don't love him?
No, it was... I don't know.
Oh, okay. So he loves you, you don't love him, but you're still gonna get married. Oh, that's awkward. And now he's missing.
No.
With Violet and your cat.
Faye, it's she's gonna go over and she's gonna sit down again opposite Phelan and kind of just run her hands down her legs before like really tightly gripping her knees and going, it's because of you that I don't know how to feel.
Have I done something?
No, you've done nothing except be yourself.
Well, you say it like it's a really bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, Phelan. It's a wonderful thing.
Wait, I'm sorry. I don't understand.
Phelan, I have been in love with you since we were children.
Right? That's different.
And I don't want anything from you. I never did want anything from you. I never wanted to put pressure on you. You didn't have to give me anything, and me telling you this isn't me wanting anything from you except for you to stop apologizing for things that you've not done.
I'm sorry I couldn't give you what you wanted.
Faye, even though I know you don't return the same feelings, loving you has been the happiest pain I've ever felt.
Okay.
And I would never trade it for anything.
I just feel a bit dumb.
No, don't.
I guess it was obvious, and then I kissed Laurie in front of you, and that must have hurt really badly. And I put you up on dates with other guys. I put you up on blind dates with other guys.
Yes, you have. And it was fine, because you weren't to know.
Oh.
Look, Phelan, I don't want to lose you as my friend. You mean too much to me. So if this is going to put a strain on our friendship, could you just forget what I said?
No. I can't forget it, and I don't wanna put a strain on what we have, because what we have is perfect. You're the sister I never had. For me, in my eyes, you've been the closest thing to a family. You and Harvey pretty much, you've been there since I was allowed to see other people. So the love that I feel for you is very familiar. And friendship wise. And I hope That's okay.
It's more than okay. Thank you. Bonnie is gonna quickly turn away and just like run her hands like very delicately under her eyes before turning back and taking a breath and going,
Can I finish your nails at least?
right, yeah, you can. Yeah.
You had
You
the
can.
unnatural 20, so like there's still somehow like you managed to do them in such a way that they're still somehow really good, even though they didn't fully dry and she's been doing stuff with her hands.
She's gonna
That
she's
fucking
gonna
good.
add a little detail on like the pinky on the left. It's gonna add a little heart.
Hmm.
She's gonna be like, that was really brave of you. And thank you
No,
for
it
telling me.
wasn't.
No, yeah, it was. Telling someone how you feel and being afraid that that will ruin everything. That is brave. And I think right now you're the bravest person, one of the bravest people I've ever met.
Then you've never met Kit Bors.
Well, I've met him. He's not that impressive. Not as impressive as you.
No, he deserves better than me.
Well, right now he's missing with Violet and your cat, so I don't think that's really fucking impressive though, is it? What's impressive is he's gone missing.
I don't know where. I've tried searching everywhere,
Well,
and
maybe he's in Transylvania. You know that his father was there
well,
during the big
that's what I
fight.
was-
His father died during the big fight.
I know about Quincy Morris.
Oh, I didn't. I just learned. So, probably
Oh.
maybe there. Or maybe he's trying to figure out something.
Maybe because Camilla was talking about how she was going somewhere with Violet, and right, Camilla's my cat. I mean, she's not my cat, but she was my cat. But she was
Wait. Okay,
still-
so Carmilla, not just your cat. So Carmilla, Violet, and Kit are on
And
a.
reminder, like last time you, Phelan, saw Carmilla, you were fighting her, and it was at Bonnie's party.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Let me just like wait. So fucking Carmilla and Kit and Violet are on a little team mission.
I don't know. Well, maybe there
They
was
become
a
besties
weird-
after they tried to kill us.
well, she wasn't trying to kill us.
Well, we
We
were
were trying to get-
fighting. I think that, if we wouldn't fought back, I feel like she would have just,
But just because we were in the way, listen, she and I, we spoke, and she's just as much a victim as my mother was.
Alright, I don't know the entire story and I do judge people quite quickly, so let me rewind it again.
Carmilla and I burned Dracula's bones one night.
Oh, that's sexy.
It didn't feel very sexy, but it smelled a bit weird.
Like lavender weird or like sulfur weird?
No, like if you were burning like someone's like grandma's clothes or something, it just smelled old
Oh.
and then damp,
Oh, at
but
least
kind
it
of
didn't,
not.
At least it didn't smell like a dead body, like the rotting flesh kind of smell that passes someone fucking out if you're not careful enough.
I've never smelt a dead body, nor really seen a dead body bar.
You have seen
couple.
a few dead bodies.
She hasn't seen that many. She's seen like
Victim.
two.
Okay. Yeah.
Bunny has not been exposed to that much death. Ironically.
Ironically. Right, let's get ourselves ready, go to sleep,
Yeah.
and get ready for a new day. Just gonna look at Bunny one more
Bunny's,
time and just like, you feel a bit better?
I do. Bunny's gonna get up and she's gonna give Phelan a kiss on the cheek before going, "Good night, Phelan," and then go to bed.
Sweet.
She's gonna try to find Laurie. before she goes to bed. Just like
Well,
just
what
like
was
sit
happening.
next to him. Yeah.
We've been
We've been
drinking.
duking it out over who gets to sleep in which bed. You just hear through the door. You always get to sleep in the one. No, I want to sleep in the one next to the window. You always get to sleep in the one.
The one next to the window. The way I went into a French accent in that quick second.
Oh no!
She opens and just sees this happening. Like, my love, I'm just gonna go to say goodnight before you kill Lucien. Apparently.
I would like to see him try.
No, but you just take the bed that you want. I'll be back in a second.
Oh no,
He's
it's
gonna
alright.
Have fun. Don't get.
I was just she like reads her like I was just gonna say goodnight.
He's like, no, it's fine. I need to be away from him for a second, so I'm gonna yell at him.
Oh, so you know how I feel. Sorry.
You have not left the room. I'm right here.
You know how I feel, Lucien.
Bed. He's gonna close the door now, and closes it. He goes, sorry, what was it?
I was just gonna say good night, and I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?
Because you're a silly little git that has been with my uncle for the entire night. And she cups his cheek, and now don't be stupid. Please get some rest.
Oh. I can only answer yes for one of those things. But, alright.
Please choose the rest.
And he leans into the hand a little bit. And he's like, alright, well. I'll try my best. It's weird. He's very used to... I'm not used to sleeping by myself again.
Well, you got Lucien to keep you warm now.
I'm not going to cover my cousin. That's a step too far, Caitlin. I love you, but no.
Look, when you're desperate.
We're family, but we're not like that. We're not that close to the family. We keep each other at distance.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it comes to which bed you're gonna fucking take. They're both fucking identical. Just take one. I'll be literally across the hallway. We'll be fine. Okay?
No.
Plus, I got 2 guns. If I hear you screaming, I'll come and protect you.
Oh, my big savior. Come and protect me.
Obviously. Alright, go to sleep.
And he takes her face in his hands and he kisses the top of her head. He's like, alright, good night.
Good night. Then she goes back.
And then he goes...
She does the same. On the other side.
Lori jumps under the bed and kicks her little feet.
Well, no, he comes to the bed and he goes, Lucien, did you take my fucking pillow?
Lucien just throws it at him from across the room. Only for that.
Yeah. Oh. Good night, cousin.
Oh.
He's hitting it.
You missed me. Oh.
Wait, what did you say?
I thought you missed me.
Oh. No. Shut up.
And with that, the night sort of closes in and everyone goes to sleep. And someone has another dream. But before we get to that, we're going to have our little break. Which has a little art break. It's so nice. It's so fun. We love it when you send... we have a Discord server where you can send in your fan art if you make any, if you draw any. We put it on the little slide, and you get to see it and enjoy it and praise it.
Good.
It's so good. Anyway,
it's around 10
Your
minutes.
English is improving, darling.
it's around
really
10 minutes.
good.
Yes. So go get water. Go get a snack. Go to the bathroom. Do a little dance. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Bye.
Welcome back. Someone's having a dream.
Ooh,
Ooh.
it's a fun little dream with rainbows and butterflies.
Oh my goodness!
And,
It
With
was.
Faye?
It
No
was
way.
for the first second. It was for the first half. Happened in the first half. Not gonna lie.
I'm in the first half, yeah.
And it was just like as normal as like dreams usually are, of like you're at a restaurant, you've been here before but you've never been to this restaurant before, and you like ordered a sandwich but they brought you soup and like all this stuff and the soup started talking to you sort of thing.
Logic,
And then you like went through the door because you had to go somewhere else, and suddenly you were in that same sort of environment as before, where the fog and the mist is rolling around and there's small like sort of glowing bright green and like dark blue kind of intermingling around you, and you see the same sort of like shifting shadows and everything. Can you roll a perception check?
You're talking to me? I'm just checking that it's me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Perception. I can do perception. I'm quite perceptive. This cauldron is lucky, as well as these dice. So, that'll be a 23.
Okay. You see, this is different because you see, like, you can again like pick out like the same sort of two options that I've given you. And like you see like a sort of smaller person, and you see like someone who looks like child-sized, and then there's another, like, you can kind of tell that it's like a young man, and he's holding, like, it looks like he's holding like a shotgun sort of thing and like blasting off. And you notice a third figure who's not like over there, but it's someone who like seems to be sort of just walking and like casually and like moving through like pretty easily, not like fighting through like you've been.
Okay.
So do you want to move to one of these two figures, or the third figure walking around?
The third figure walking around.
Yeah, you turn, and you're having like an easier time the more dreams like these you've had, and like actually like sort of processing how to manipulate this sort of environment. And you start walking towards this person, and as you walk towards them, you like they haven't like fully noticed you either. They're like sort of gauging like their own sort of figures that they see in these different mists and everything. And as you walk towards, they like sort of pause for a second and are just kind of looking around like casually and like calmly. And as you get to them, you see that it's like a woman, a girl, more of a girl than a woman. And she's slightly taller than you. She seems to be like looking farther off, like she isn't turned towards you, but like she's wearing like a very kind of like simple dress. With like the perception that you got, you can tell from this dress that this is like several years old fashion. Not like old, but like this was something that was in fashion maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
She has like dark curly hair, like a little bit flyaway, and you look at like the ends of it and it's kind of charred a little bit. And she like is just kind of looking around, and you, again with that perception, you see that above the curly hair there are some like slight tiefling horns that are peeking out. And she turns around, and instantly there's like it feels like this environment before was like kind of slightly uncomfortably warm, like kind of humid.
Mm-hmm.
But as like you make eye contact with this person, it feels like your bones freeze for a second. Like it's like ice water running through there, and like it just, you like instantly clench from like just the feeling of like anxiety and like not feeling good. And your lungs like kind of like spasm for a second because you feel like you're smelling smoke.
Ooh.
And the thing that you realize right before you shock yourself awake, just from like the fear of it, is that her eyes are completely black.
Oh.
Do I recognize her at all from photos or anything like that? Was she completely unknown to me?
I feel like you've got to do a history check at disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fair. Do that.
You better have some
that was
lucky
a nat
dice.
20, I wish you!
You better have some lucky dice.
Okay, that's a 15 plus 4, so 19! I'm not joking! If you want me to take pictures of my dice, I can.
You don't have to. I've been around when she's been rolling.
Yeah.
It literally is always like this.
Okay.
Which is the worst.
You know
take a picture.
families. You know well-known families. You know not really, like, fallen families and such. And you can see the resemblance, is what I'll say. You can see the resemblance between this girl and one of your classmates. In that she's a yellow tiefling. Mm-hmm.
Alright, Vivia's sister or something like that?
Yeah, you like sit up straight. You sit like straight up. And like you can see that there's like some like slight mist that has like accumulated over your, like you've like clenched your sheets out of like just the like the reaction of it all.
Okay.
And it like slowly, it like dispersed like a little bit slowly, but it's not like, it wasn't like that much or anything. It was just kind of accumulated around your hands. Sort of like a reaction.
Wait, what accumulated around my hands?
A little bit of mist and like fog.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh. I'm the spooky bitch. Okay. So
Was the spooky bitch me all along?
is it me? Am I the spooky bitch?
Yeah. It's like it's not quite the middle of the night. It's about like 4 or 5 a.m. right now with you sitting up.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything?
God, she puts her little cloak around her.
Yeah.
And
You've still got like a little necklace you're wearing that's of like a very dark stone.
yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Wait, let me do this properly. Fuck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Take your time. I do have little holes here because this is the cape I made for Knot. So let me just get my little ears
Crying.
through. Because I should be able. Maybe it was
This is
Beautiful.
You know
It'll
what?
be worth it.
This is gonna be
Not
worth it, I
truly.
promise.
Yeah.
Give
Do
me
you
2
are
seconds.
you going to do what I think you're going to do with the necklace?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll start
Oh.
then I'll start narrating.
Wait. There we go.
Just to give you a little bit of time.
Then- There we go.
So you like
Oh.
pull the cloak over yourself and you like kind
Oh
of
my-
curl in a little bit.
Sorry, all my praise is done by Anando. Who's Anando? I'm Anando,
Okay.
I'm scared of
I
nothing.
make this sparkle.
And you sort of curl in a little bit on yourself just to like maybe hide in case like Bonnie wakes up.
Yeah.
And you kind of put your hand around the glass and you know that piece of just like glass necklace, it's no longer like a dark black just glass. It's turned to like a smoky pale opal. And after a second, like as you've been like thinking of it and like sort of calling, can you make a religion check?
Weak.
Do I feel anything through my ring?
Make a perception check.
17.
17? Okay. Yeah, the
16 plus 1.
18 plus.
Oh,
What was I doing? Perception?
yeah.
That's a 0. That's a flat 18.
Okay. Yeah, you're as like the mist sort of gathers around you, Phelan, and sort of like it doesn't take like the full form of a girl like this like the one you met a few days ago.
Mhm.
It sort of takes the form of like a miniature, almost like palm-sized, like sort of like sitting on tiny, sitting on like the end of your bed sort of thing, like almost beyond your feet a little bit.
Wait, who? Me or Lucian?
Of you, Phelan.
Me.
You.
Yeah.
Like,
But Lucian, your hand kind of like grows warm, like the humid warm that you know.
oh,
And you like wake up after a second of like, your hand isn't like encased with mist or fog or anything. It's just like warm, and your like dark glass ring has turned foggy as well.
I'm gonna let the scene go on because I think Lucian's going to try and very, very carefully sneak out of the room to go check on Phelan.
Yeah.
But I don't want to step on anything that's happening. So I'm gonna say he takes that time to just very carefully creep out of this room and kind of like try and figure out the best way to go check.
Yeah. So like this kind of like small like swirling mist ball turns into like this like sort of small like almost Barbie sized like person. And you see the familiar face of Emily still like in like a tiny nightgown and the little shawl, and her hair is like clipped back. And she like opens her eyes in like a, you know, the same sort of dazed look you saw last time.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at you and goes, "Yes?
Sorry to wake you up. I know it's early, but I don't know if goddesses dream or not.
I don't sleep. Be a
Gotcha.
goddess, I'm more of just a hand. It's
Well, you fit into my hand, so that works.
That's
so,
true.
What's going on with my dreams? I know you'd said you didn't have anything to do with them.
Oh.
I feel like I'm seeing dead people.
Oh, you probably are.
Great, good to
See,
know.
yeah, I mean, I don't think you have a close enough connection that you see only dead people. I think you sometimes probably, if I'd had to guess from my infinite knowledge that is very hard to explain.
Right, riddles again. Okay,
Okay, we've got this.
hit me. She's like, I'm ready to try to dissect whatever she's trying to tell me.
She's like, you don't have a strong enough connection with the afterlife of what there is that you can probably most easily find connections with the dead with the people you still know alive. Or might know down the line.
Right, so...
That's probably me, sorry.
No, that's alright. So I see the dead that are connected to the people that I know instead of just casually dead people.
Yes.
Right, so
And they might not always already be dead. You might be glimpsing a little bit into the future with some of them.
Okay, so I see people that are dead and people that are going to die shortly.
Hard to tell.
Wait, since you're the goddess of, hand of peaceful death, does that mean that the people that I'm seeing are people that died peacefully, or the opposite?
Likely the opposite. It's likely a death that shouldn't have happened or be happening. It's
So
a possibility that you can correct before it happens. It's not exactly my domain. I can only kind of tell after the fact and what should be and when it goes off the rails, which is often too late.
Right, so how do I know which one's which?
She just kind of shrugs and she's like,
Yeah, that's helpful. Okay. So I just have to keep my eyes open.
you might have to figure out a way to figure it out yourself.
Okay, so instead of being afraid of my spooky little hell dream, I'll have to dive deeper into my spooky little hell dream.
Possibly.
Gotcha.
If you can hang on longer, that might help.
But apparently I get scared and my body's like, nope. And then I wake up in a cold sweat and there's mist everywhere. And I thought first, oh, it's you being spooky. But actually, I'm the one being spooky. I'm the one being spooky.
Things when you're alive. Things get a lot more disconnected when you're dead.
That, I know you meant that it's very comforting, Emily. But it's not really comforting. No, not really.
Oh, shit.
But I really appreciate that you tried. Made it worse a tiny bit, but that's fine. I'll do my best.
I'll work on that.
No,
I've tried to work on it with Lucien. Sasha's very sensitive.
Is he awake right now?
Probably yes. He's outside the door. He's kind of trying to figure out how to come in and be subtle about it. And...
Thank you so much. How do I disconnect this?
She just like disappears.
Okay, fine. She goes.
And at that moment, Lucien knocks on the door.
No,
very softly.
Can she please open the door when he's about to knock?
Yeah.
You two do dexterity rolls.
No, it's fine.
Just straight dexterity rolls to see who gets to the door first.
Where did my dice go?
That'll be a 19. 14 plus 5.
Oh,
Dang.
well,
Us playing.
That one!
Yeah, I suppose in this context, like, Phelan does just get to the door, and you go into the knock, but because it goes out, you kind of, like, stumble forward a bit.
Can she like catch him? Can she catch his like little fist?
Yeah, I think with how high your dex roll is, you, like, just catch his fist and are just like...
She like
He just stands there.
She pushes him a bit back so she can close the door. Good morning, Sasha.
Oh, don't do that. Don't that. Okay, all right. Don't do that around Lori.
Oh, I won't.
Don't do that around Lori.
It's right. I have enough blackmail material on you either way. So, what is Emily's thing? I'm seeing apparently in my dreams people that have died or are about to die that I have a connection with. Not personally, but a connection with the people in my life. I think I saw a relative of Vidya.
Okay, he just woke up a few minutes ago. He's like, okay, all right. First of all, that I don't think that is completely an Emily thing. That doesn't happen to me, but that's it's good to know.
Can I?
Second of all, I'm here because when you call, I get a notification, and he taps the ring. So I just wanted to make sure everything was all right. Usually, when Emily shows up, things are either not going so well for me or something like that, and I just want to make sure you were all right.
I made
Third
mist.
of all,
do you make mist?
I do make mist. Congratulations. That is
Thanks.
It's,
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really.
it's ruined.
Okay.
It's pretty,
I thought it was a bit
pretty
spooky
cool.
at first, but if you could do it as well, I guess it's just normal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of her thing. If you need anything you want to ask about Emily, I will tell you what is her thing and what is not. I can do that.
All right. Can I? Sorry, Faye. Can I please make your intelligence roll to see if I connect the dots now?
Yes.
With the
you can do that at
session
advantage.
0. Okay, thank you. Just straight intelligence.
In session 0, yes.
Yeah.
And I'll explain while you do that. In session 0, I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the stream that the choice that Phelan had between two people before was there was someone like shooting and stuff, and there was someone who was like crawling and saying no. They were a tiefling, very androgynous, with freckles across their face, and a wound on their head. And when they finally got up and turned around, they said, "Margaret." And then Phelan woke up.
So, I rolled a 17, so 16 plus 1.
Okay. And with thinking about it, and thinking about, you connect just the family resemblance, and like Lucien's hair kind of like
and
shines a little bit
freckles.
with a little bit of
Yeah, okay. She's gonna notice that now. She's gonna be like, she's gonna go a bit closer to him.
He holds incredibly still. They just. Oh.
Is there anyone else in your family with freckles?
And he, completely taken off guard, just kind of, my mother? Why?
You look like her.
His face just goes completely blank. And he kind of takes a little bit of a stumbling step back from Phelan. And how do you know that?
I saw her a couple of days ago. Actually, the night right before I met.
Just real
Emily
quick,
the
Renee
first
uses
time.
they and he pronoun.
Sorry,
Renee,
thank you.
no, you're good.
So sorry.
You're good.
I saw them, in my dream, like the night before.
It would have been like yeah.
Yeah, the
It was
the
right
night
before
when
we talked.
Yeah, right before we talked about Emily and I met Emily the first time. I just didn't connect the dots, and I didn't want to assume anything. Just, tiefling with red hair and freckles, could be anyone. But I'm guessing it wasn't just anyone, was it?
No.
They were, in my dream, they were crawling away, screaming, no. And
As you're saying this, it looks like this is physically difficult for him to hear, but he is listening.
and then they stepped up.
I think with the like high intelligence rolls, something else occurs to you that with that interaction of Renee registering you.
Yeah.
Is that before that there was like not a certain awareness, but as soon as they saw you, there was like a tug of reality that they thought you were Margaret because you look like Margaret.
Okay, cool. So, Lynn looks at Lucian like. So they were, they were crawling, they were screaming no, and then when they got up, they turned around, and then when they looked at me, it was like it was real. It wasn't a dream anymore. And they called me my mother's name. I'm guessing because I look like her. But I guess there is still a way to talk to them. There is still maybe a way to, for everyone that has died, not a peaceful death.
He is very pointedly looking at the floor between him and Phelan, and he is very shaken by this.
We can probably help.
How do you help someone already dead?
We can help them move on. Probably maybe in limbo or something.
And he kind of looks to the ceiling, and there's a little bit of tears in his eyes, and he swallows, and he kind of gives this very bitter, just humorless laugh. Just, great. Just wonderful news. Not only were both of my parents slaughtered, they're in limbo. They can't even rest, and they didn't.
That's probably
perfect.
Hey, but Lucian, I know this is. I'm sorry that this is really hard to hear, but this is a good thing. We can help them. We can help. Not just them, but anyone. That's probably why Emily was drawn to us. We both have people in our lives that we have witnessed died, that have not died in a very nice way, and we can help.
You're right. It's just... Okay, all right. I mean, he's taking some steadying breaths, and he's gonna put his hands on her shoulder. Okay, you're right. You usually are. I don't know why I'm second guessing you ever. Okay. What do you want? What do we do with this? How do I help? You.
Are you good with alchemy or potions or anything like that?
Faye, am I? What kind of stats does
you
that
probably
require?
have some basic training just from musketeering, that it's sort of you gotta know how to make certain things, but
I need you to knock me the fuck out.
I'm sorry?
I need you to knock me the fuck out. I need to stay asleep. Because every time I wake up, something exciting is gonna happen, and then my body's like, "Phew, no, don't want that." So you need to find something to knock me the fuck out. Do you understand?
Yeah, I'm getting
Lucian,
it.
Then make an intelligence check, just to see if you do know.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
No whammies, no whammies.
17! And I forgot that we leveled up. I forgot we leveled up last session, and then he now has +1s to his intelligence. 18.
Excellent. Yes. You know, like a simple like sleeping potion, because you know a lot of musketeers get traumatized, so they so there is like a simple like sleeping draught that you can make. It's generally just fairly simple.
Okay.
More of a tea than like anything really.
It's like real strong melatonin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's kind of okay. All right. I can do that. I can. There's potion. It's a drink that a lot of musketeers we tend to. It's not a very happy life. And one must get sleep when they can. So when did you want to do this now?
Oh no, it's like they don't have watches.
Yeah, it's like
they're
it's like
she
4:30.
looks up. She
Yeah.
finds it.
Like-
She finds a grandpa clock. Grandfather clock. It's around 4. Like no, because we're gonna be leaving soon.
Right.
If you can get the ingredients on the way, unless you have done them, we can probably go do it on the way or the next time we go to a tavern.
We should do it in a tavern. I don't know what's going to happen to you. It's better to be in a stationary place, safe and quiet. And oh God, what the
Do we
fuck
want to
am I
tell
gonna
the
Lori?
others?
Yes.
Both of them. I don't know if you're going to tell the others. All right.
I think that is up to you. It is your dream journey quest.
I have a dream journal. Oh, I should write this in my dream journal.
You have a dream journal?
Yeah, Bonnie told me to get a dream journal. So I have a dream journal now, so I've been writing down all of the people that I've met. Oh my god, that was so clever. I know so I know right now every single person that I've met in my dreams that we could probably help, that I can try to connect to.
Okay, good plan. So sleeping draught tonight, tomorrow night. It's today anyway.
There are probably like one or two things that you would need to like pick up along the way. So yeah.
I want to try and do that.
Yeah.
I'm making a note for that. All right. Good.
Okay. So when it comes
do
to
we
the
tell
others,
the others?
yeah, when it comes to the others, you don't
They're a
want them
little
to know.
jumpy.
You don't want them to know about your connection to Emily. And how do I explain my connection to Emily without dragging you in the mud?
And he just kind of takes a sigh. He goes, I suppose I'm going to have to talk to my cousin.
I mean, you don't have to tell him you're not a paladin.
He's not stupid.
No, look, you overestimate Laurie there. Yeah,
Lucy just-
with Laurie's
Lucy just
intelligence
full
being
snort.
20.
You figured
okay,
it out.
Laurie-
You figured me
Laurie's-
out in less than 10 minutes, Faden. What? He's known me for 3 years. What?
Look, Laurie
3
is
years,
not.
20 years.
Of course,
Jesus.
Laurie is not dumb. He's so fond of you that he'll believe anything you tell him. If you told him
So
you're
you
a
want me-
paladin, he'll believe you, because why wouldn't he?
Because I haven't been very trustworthy these past 3 years, and I think he knows that.
Right, then we don't tell him. He doesn't have to know,
Out.
does he?
Great, another thing I'm lying to him about.
Oh, well, you're already lying about that, though, so it wouldn't be that different.
All right, it's up to you. If you want to tell him, I will talk to him. If not,
I'm not going to tell him about. Look, I'm not going to tell him about you being a blood hunter. That is your thing.
shh, keep your voice down.
Sir. I'm not going to tell him about you being a blood hunter. That is your thing to tell. That is not my business. That is your personal business. And if I tell him before you do, that's not cool.
Can I roll to see if I wake up?
Make a wisdom roll.
Oh, fuck.
Y'all
Laurie's
being
fast
loud.
sleeping.
And the door is like, you never said you were like went
No,
into
we're
the
right in
full
front of
hall.
Bonnie.
You're in the
No.
hall. Yeah.
We're
You're
right in
in
front
the
of
hallway.
the door.
Is this
I did say I
wisdom?
closed it, but we were in the hallway.
Yeah, the
in
door
front
is
of the door.
closed, but we're right in front of
Oh.
it.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
say that
Yeah.
I pushed him back as I
Yeah,
closed
I
the
can
door.
shut the door. Is it a straight wisdom check?
Yes.
17.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. It's
Wow.
early enough, and you're like uncomfortable. Like this is a tavern bed. That like you do like hear enough like talking in the hallway that you're like you are kind of roused awake.
Wait, which word?
She's gonna look at the empty bed, and then she's gonna like, ugh. And then I guess like go over to the door, just open it, and be like, Phelan, why the fuck are you awake?
Morning.
Good
Beautiful.
morning. How did you sleep?
You look great.
Terribly. I need... Like, I don't understand how they think that people can rest on one down pillow that isn't even like a feather down, like, not feather down. Like, you should have two to elevate your head, like, at a right level. It's fucking ridiculous. Plus, I'm pretty sure there's something digging in my back, but oh well, it's an old mattress, right? What are you two chatting about so loudly?
I've trouble sleeping, and Lucian also had trouble sleeping, so he's gonna try
Lori,
to...
he snores now. The fangs, they displaced it.
And when I'm not there, he sleeps really uncomfortably as well. It's a whole thing. But Lucian's gonna make me a little sleeping drought thingy so I can sleep properly. So that's what we're talking about, really.
Right.
Oh, is it
both of you make deception checks.
Because of my spooky dreams. Remember, I've told you about my spooky dreams, and I've been having
either
them.
both of you can make a deception check, or one of you, or I think Phelan can make a deception check with the help action and just do it at advantage.
My deception is +2. What's yours?
Same.
Lol. What do we do, Bestie?
I'd say probably you roll deception with advantage because you're doing most of the talking.
That's a 17, 15 +2.
Okay, yeah. There's that like makes enough sense.
I've been talking about my dreams. She knows that I've had spooky dreams, and I've been struggling to sleep.
Right.
And Lucian looks tired, so it makes he hasn't been sleeping well.
Unless you want to roll insight, then yeah.
Sure. Oh fuck.
Okay.
I'm not lying. 100%.
You're not lying.
We're not lying 100%.
Yeah.
We're just not being completely truthful.
Sorry, I can't see this one. Oh, it's a nat 20.
I don't know why I was
Fuck.
Sweetheart, I am holding some information from you, and if you want to dig it out, you can.
Yeah.
She's gonna tilt her head and then lean against the door slightly and fold her arms.
Oh, I know
And
that.
be like... And just kind of narrow her eyes slightly and be like, can I read your dream journal?
So, before you freak out, wait. I've been having... There's someone that's been, helping me out a bit. Having some
She's gotta look over at Lucian.
No, not him. That has helped me get some fate into my in me that I didn't have before. So I know this cantrip doesn't exactly do this. But can I cast Sacred Flame just to make a little show?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. She's gonna close her eyes. She's gonna open her hands. And this green sacred flame enraptures her hands and down her arms.
That's nasty. She's like, you got freaked out and you turned to religion?
No, it's not. She's not really a goddess. More of a hand.
She's I suppose. And as soon as he speaks, he realizes what he said.
I didn't hear what you said. So
like a saint.
Like a saint.
Like a saint, I suppose. And then he realizes he spoke and just eyes wide.
Lucian knows a lot about her.
Yeah.
So my spooky dreams.
Because you're a paladin.
Yeah.
Right.
Paladins know saints. Right? That's the thing, right? Paladins know saints.
Well, I would presume that a paladin would understand religion.
Right. I do.
I think it's been enough time that Lori, I also want you to make a wisdom.
I was gonna ask. Not the three of us in the hallway.
Yeah.
I'm here waiting.
Bonnie also does not have a quiet voice.
No.
You
Oh,
said
God.
I'm also. Oh god, I'm gonna roll for Van Helsing to see if he wakes up too.
Jesus Christ.
Uncle
You remember-
Helsing,
You
sit the fuck
remember
still.
in our you remember in our little like check-in, and when we were like, what does each character want out of this? And yours was like, Lucian just wants to stop letting like slip everything about him. He just wants to stop telling people stuff that they shouldn't know about him.
Yeah.
Session
He
one.
just wants
Yeah,
to
that's
keep
what
a
he
secret.
wanted. That's what he wanted. That's not what I want. Make him suffer. Clap if you think he should suffer.
No.
Okay, what did Lori roll?
14.
I think it's an.
It's the Pirates
I
of the Caribbean.
I think you're like kind of irritable a little bit of like something is kind of. It's the kind of thing when you like keep on getting woken up by your alarm, but you're not registering that it's an alarm and not really like phased by it. No sense of like urgency, just like an irritability. Yeah. But you are kind of awake.
Okay. He's gonna look over and see that Lucian's not in his bed. And he's gonna be like, where the fuck am I? Wait a second. And then,
Probably gonna be like muffled, like, and then Bonnie
Yeah.
being like, "That's a paladin thing, isn't it?" Like muffle,
Yeah, you
muffle,
literally
muffle.
muffled, and then
And
Bonnie just going, because you're a paladin, right?
I'm gonna roll something real quickly, Miss DM.
Okay.
Just specifically because of that paladin comment.
Okay. What are you rolling?
Me?
I'm just rolling to see if he recognizes, like if he hears that and connects that to a conversation that we had in session 0.
Me running.
Okay. Make a history check. Because that's memory.
That's my best stat, baby. Okay.
Okay.
I got +8 in that.
I'm sweating.
I'm getting comfy.
That'll be a 24.
Fuck me running.
Oh. Yeah, something clicks in your head. Because quite a while ago, you had like a tense brunch with Lucian. And you were talking about like what his path was and what he was doing and how he's doing it. And something kind of connects with the two like last times you were like in close contact with him, of like after the night of like Crimson Ghost and everything, he tried to sneak out of the house and he kind of confronted each other. And then the brunch and stuff, and both times there was Lucian getting like emotional but also tense and not really answering a lot of questions. And along with that, the very environment you guys were in, there was like a lot of fog and a lot of mist, a lot of like humidity and condensation. Almost said condescension.
I mean, that too.
That too. And that sort of connects of like paladins don't often fight with the kind of melancholy that Lucian has just molded into himself now.
Maybe he's just depressed, okay? We shouldn't judge.
Could be. That just happens.
Look, sometimes...
If anyone knows what that looks like, it's Lori.
It's a Dantes. He's a Dantes. They're all a little fucked up.
He's fine.
It's just
Good Dantes.
inherited mental illness. It's just
It's
inherited
mental
mental
illness,
illness.
Story of Frankenpunk.
Yeah.
And that sort of connects of like something is not very paladin in the state of Denmark.
That's cute.
Okay, Lori just if you could have zoomed in on the moment, he's sitting in the bed with his like feet on the ground, just kind of like collecting himself with his eyes closed, and he hears that in the hall, and he just looks up, and like a moment of clarity just passes over him, and he just goes, all right, and stands up and like gets presentable a little bit and opens the door.
At the same time,
But-
time, down the hall, the other door opens because Van Helsing rolled an 18.
Beautiful.
And he opens the door sort of at like the same time as you and like goes around like the side of the room and he's like fully dressed. Like it's like 5 a.m. He's ready.
Good morning, Uncle.
and-
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you all
Good
ready?
morning, Lawrence.
How do we look
Hello,
ready,
Lawrence.
Uncle? I'm on my fucking nightgown. Do I look ready?
Then I guess the second question is, why aren't you ready?
Well, we're getting to it. If you push me one more time, I will throw a tantrum. And when I'm in a tantrum, I will shoot something.
Bonnie's gonna look between Phelan and Lucian, and then she's gonna glance to Laurie and then back at Lucian before going, right, well, Faye, you should get better sleep after having that tea for your...
I haven't drinking anything yet.
No, I know, I'm saying that the tea should help, that Lucian has so kindly offered.
Wait, you just need some extra ingredients.
I'm guessing.
Right.
Right.
I have a plan to pick them up on the way. I'm sure we'll stop at some point to watch the horses. I can, Oh, before we leave, run out of town. I'm stupid.
No, that's
Hmm.
alright. You have other redeeming qualities.
Can I? Not a second, huh? Not a moment's breath. No.
You gave it to me. It was
Really?
really easy.
That's fair. That is fair.
I'm gonna change into something more travel comfortable than my nightgown. And she looks at Laurie,
Me as well.
and she looks at Laurie and she just waves at him and like, just been having trouble sleeping, my dear.
Laurie gives her a very tight smile.
But she like sends like, not now. She kind of gives a look like, not now, sweetheart.
He's like, he totally picks up her message and he's like, I got. If you could see, it's like this very. He's standing behind where both of y'all are at the door, essentially.
So
Of
tall
he and
as well,
Lucian's room.
towering over them.
Yeah, and it's you see like his shadow already, but as he's standing there, you see it kind of starting to grow a little bit as he's sitting there and is waiting for a certain somebody to turn around and look at him.
Phelan is thinking, Dan boy, but she doesn't say it. And she goes and like just nods, and then she looks at Lucian. Have fun. And she
He
goes
gives
to
her the
bed.
most frail. He gives her the most frail little smile of, Thank you.
And she
And he's
goes-
just—it's just a moment once again of he's right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah. That's why she just gives him a little. And she goes to Bonnie and she's like, I'm gonna give you the book.
Right.
I'm
She's
going to.
gonna wave to them and then like go to close the door and be like, "Good morning, Laurie," and then shut the door.
Well, I'm going to
I'm-
get into something more suitable for the trail. He turns and sees Laurie.
By the way,
Laurie
she
does the
gives
thing where he
morning.
goes, "Good morning, Lucy."
Lucian, not quite connecting that Laurie might have heard anything, just, good morning. Can I? Then he's going to gesture past him into the room.
Go ahead, yes, of course. Come on in.
Right. And he walks into the room and
And
just begins getting ready.
Laurie closes the door very pointedly and like looks like a disappointed father that has just caught their child doing
Oh,
something.
that's going to go over well, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. He closes it. He goes, "Interesting morning."
Oh, yes, Phelan was just having some trouble sleeping, poor thing. And you snore now, did you know that?
No, I didn't actually, but thank you for telling me. I'll make sure to get that fixed. And he
Doesn't
kind of
seem to
looks off. Oh, sorry. What was that?
Oh, just doesn't seem to bother Phelan. And
No. And he kind of looks off for a second and waits. And he goes, "Lucian, do you remember that saying my father used to tell us sometimes? and I think your father kind of quoted it as well. There's that old Dante's family saying that heavy is the head that fuck. This is me saying fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Lori. Heavy is the head that bears the crown. But heavier is the heart that lies to those they love. And I ask you, Lucian, how heavy is your heart?
His back is to you as he's in like the little like in his suitcase, and he is frozen. And he very carefully puts down the things he was holding and rests his hand on the top of the suitcase. And what do you mean by that?
I think you know exactly what I mean by that, Lucian. And I ask you this because I'm giving you one chance. And I don't want to become like our fathers. But I don't like being lied to, Lucian.
He's going to close the suitcase, which is perched on, and he's going to turn around. And he's going to sit in the windowsill of the room. And he's going to look at Lori. And the look in his eyes is very much... It's very familiar in that it's not, you know, the look of a brother looking at another brother. It's not the look of, you know, fondness. It is very much the look of two adults about to have the most serious conversation they've ever had. They are not children anymore. And he looks him in the eyes and he says, I will tell you, but Lawrence, I need you to be completely sure that these are things you want to know about me. Because these aren't even things I like knowing about myself.
He stands there and he goes, I don't care if you think I won't. He just, like, he's at a loss for words. He's like, I want to know who my brother is. And right now, I don't think I know him.
He doesn't know himself, so it would make sense. All right. He's going to stand up, and he begins on unbuttoning the shirt that he is wearing. He takes it off, and you and Lucian used to play during the summers together, and you'd go swimming, and you've seen him, you know, in various states of disrobing, because, you know, two boys growing up together. And the last time you saw him, he was just this soft painter, not a scratch on him. Renee was always just neurotic about keeping this child safe. And he stands before you now, and his body is just littered with scars. Some old, some fresher, some new. Some, the angle of which looks like it might have come from drawing a sword out from a hilt right across his own chest. And he turns to you. I am no paladin, dear brother of mine. But you already knew that.
Yeah, I did. So what exactly are you?
I am the son of Aramis Dantes. I am your cousin by blood, your brother by choice and by fate. And I am a disappointment. Have you ever heard of a blood hunter, Lawrence?
Laurie just closes his eyes and he just goes and like has his hand next to a wall and goes, Lucian, you didn't.
Oh, but I did.
You didn't. And then he looks at the scars and he goes, But you did.
I didn't expect you to understand, and this is why I wasn't going to tell you. Why do you need to know about something it's not going to change it? And you could have been happy, and you could have not. You didn't have to carry this burden as well. And that's what I was trying to do.
There will never be a point in my life, Lucian, where not knowing something about you makes me happier.
You're going to look at me and tell me that you're pleased with this development. You're happy.
No, I'm not happy. I'm the opposite of happy. I am so angry right now. I want to burn this entire building down.
No, don't do that. I mean, you could pay the damages, but not a good idea.
But I'm not going to. Because you and I are in this together, Lucy. Why don't you think I can't? He walks up and he goes, "Did you think I wouldn't be able to handle this? Did you think me too fragile?"
Laurie, you know that every time we went anywhere together, in fact, the last thing my mother ever said to me was, "Goodbye, I love you, take care of Laurie." That's the last thing my parents ever said to me. And so, I continued to do that.
Laurie just stands up for a second and he goes, "Are you saying what I think you're saying right now?"
I can't read your mind, Lawrence, so you tell me.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare try to say that you did this because of me.
I had to protect you. That is all that matters, is that you are alive. You were supposed to go, and you're going to meet a girl, and you met Phelan, and you're going to have 3 fat babies and live a long, healthy life. That is what you're supposed to do, Laurie. That is your thing. That is what is for you to do. It was never for me. And that's okay. It's okay, Laurie. It's fine. I died 3 years ago. What's the difference if my body dies tomorrow, you know?
There is a difference because you're going to leave me alone here. It's a difference because you don't get to decide whether what I do or do not do. You don't get to decide if I get to live a happy life or I get to sit alone by myself or if I die tomorrow or today. Those are my choices to make, Lucian, not yours. We are both grown-ups, Lucian. We are men in our own right, and I very clearly don't have any say in what you do. So don't for a second think you have any say in what I do.
Don't.
Don't what?
Nothing.
No,
it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
It matters. It matters to me, Lucian.
I just wanted you to be happy. And I wanted you to be safe. And my father died in my arms, and he told me, take Laurie and run. And I was going to, and then I was offered a choice. And I was 18, and I was stupid, and I was sad, and I was alone for the first time in my life. And when you're 18 years old and your world falls apart and someone gives you the chance to fix it, or to protect the last bit of your world that is left, you take it. Because you are all I have left, I have no one else.
And what happens, Lucian, when the consequences of your actions catch up with you?
Well, that's for me to face, isn't it?
Really? Because from what I hear, that's for me to face. Because you won't be here to face them.
There's a knock on the door, As it's been a little bit. It's been about, I want to say like 15 minutes-ish. And Van Helsing kind of knocks on the door and goes, "We're trying to get an early move today. We'll be leaving in about half an hour if you still want to get breakfast or not. Either way, get a move on."
Yes,
He kinda
we're
moves
coming. Thank you, sir. And Laurie turns back to Lucian and he goes, I don't condemn you or hate you for the choices that you've made in your life. Believe me, I'm the last person to do so. But just know from this moment on, Lucian, I'm going to sit here and remember how you looked me in my eye when I asked you a direct question earlier. And how you lied to me. You made a choice, and now you must face those consequences.
Oh, you really want to talk to me about lying?
Really?
I'm going to show up I show up at your house. You have friends that you've told me about. You've written these out about friends. I don't think Bonnie was very much of a friend. You're covered in burns. You refuse to tell me about that. I don't know about that. But I didn't hold that against you. Because I know that we make stupid decisions when we're hurt and we're in pain and we're... But no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
That was a different...
It's different. No, it's different. It's always different for Lawrence, isn't it? It's
what
different.
do you mean by that?
It's different when it comes to things that you don't want to talk about. Because you haven't exactly been very forthcoming either.
I have never lied to you, Lucian. Never a day in my life.
You've certainly deflected. You've certainly skirted around things.
It's not my fault you don't ask questions about my life. It's not my fault you want to know.
I've been trying to... You're different now, Laura. It's been 3 years. You're not even I left an 18-year-old boy who was going off to school, and I come back and you're completely different. You've changed for the better, it seems, and I've done nothing but change for the worse. How do I talk to you about that? How do I talk to you about a future that I'm probably not going to be a part of?
I think the important thing, Lucian, was for you to at least fucking try. But you didn't.
That is your opinion.
Well, I see we are at an impasse here, brother.
Yes.
Oh, how history does love to repeat itself, it seems. On that note, I'll see you downstairs. And Laurie turns on his heel and leaves. Maybe slamming the door on his way out.
You don't see it, but his door slams. Lucian just jumps just a little bit and just stands there in the middle of the room for a few minutes. And before very methodically getting dressed in just his finest. And coming downstairs as well.
Everyone is kind of gathered a little bit and is just about ready to go, I think. Van Helsing has like saddled up the horses and everything and gotten the carriage ready. And I think everyone, like at least Bonnie and Phelan, are already in the carriage, just kind of like sitting. And Laurie gets in not too long after. And then Lucian is the last one to get on there. And it's tense, obviously, but like it's the type of feeling of like everything is heavy right now. Like everyone is heavy with something. And something is weighing on everyone's mind. Phelan now knows like something of the direction that she has power and the sort of possible purpose that fate gave her this. And Lucian is heavy with knowing that like one of the truths is out. We came into this trip with one ally, maybe two, and you still sort of have two allies.
Yeah.
Um,
He is complete. You all notice he's completely silent as he gets in. He says nothing compared to his usual chatty self, and he just looks a man haunted to just sitting.
Yeah.
Phelan's gonna go over and sit next to Dory, and she's gonna grab his hand and just look at him, and like silently, just like, "Are you okay?" kind of situ, like.
He just kind of looks at her, looks at Lucy a little quickly, and then back at her, and he just goes. Just like a very sad.
Yeah, she just like one nod. He squeezes his hand. And she just mouths, "It's going to be okay."
He kind of like, he smiles a little, very sad smile, and he takes her hand up to his mouth and kisses it, and then he puts it back on her lap, still holding it, but very much looking out and reevaluating some things.
I'm just gonna say, while they had their, I was gonna say heart to heart. Phelan gave Bonnie a dream journal and told her everything. So Bonnie knows everything. She left out a lot of Lucian's stuff because she still feels that's not my story to tell. Lucian can tell Bonnie if he wants to, but she's gonna tell her side of the story with everything. Emily, with that she thinks she sees, you know, with the dead people that might be dead.
Yeah.
The descriptions of the people who she's like connected, and why she needs the sleep potion. And, you know, with everything that she feels like there is a connection to her and the magic her mother had. So it's not much, it's faint, and the faith of Emily is giving her enough power to connect to it in some way.
Yes.
That is why she said she didn't turn to religion, she turned to faith. And that is different. So Bonnie knows everything.
Yeah. And I think the ride is like pretty silent. At least like to the next sort of town. And it's like a fairly silent kind of all around, just because there isn't as much time to get like 2-on-2 sort, like 1-on-1 sort of things over the next 2 days. And on like the second day of that, so like the 5th day of traveling, Van Helsing like sort of like pops up for like as much as Van Helsing can pop up on the sort of last sort of carriage ride, because you're about to sort of ditch the carriage for a second. You're about to reach like the last town like outside of the castle. After this you'll have to hike up, and he sort of explains that a little bit of like I'm gonna roll to see if Van Helsing has like registered that this y'all have gotten more tense.
So that's gonna be hard.
Van Helsing, an empath.
Oh god, he has a -3 charisma, so that's like
I love this man.
well, I'll roll perception. That's wisdom.
Friends in the family.
Okay, it's like a 17 all around. So he does register that like this stuff has been happening between you guys, and he's like, I have a contact in the small town outside of Dracula's castle. He's been sort of keeping an eye on the area and sort of reporting some of the... As he reported to me that it's been a bit more active than it has been for a while. So we'll be meeting him. And he's like contemplating like actually saying something of like, we will get right into like the planning of it, and for it We'll probably spend a day hiking up to the castle. Try and get there before, leave early in the morning. Get there, hopefully around noon, after hiking there for a few hours, and then do a search of the castle, do a scan of it and everything. Try and find, the actual areas of problem, and then hopefully clear it before nightfall. If it does, then we should be split up in pairs. So, decide maybe tonight who you're pairing up with at the castle. There will be 6 of us in total because my contact will be coming with us.
Right. Is there a place where I can go get these ingredients for the little potion for Phelan?
Yeah, there's
I want to do that.
Yeah. Just do a nature check, just to make sure.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking Christ.
I'm gonna give you a flash of genius, so
Thank
add
God.
+4 to the roll.
Okay, so that's a 10 plus
Okay.
4,
Mhm.
14, and it was what was it, nature?
Nature.
Okay, 15.
Okay, you have an all right time finding the stuff that you need. It's 3 or 4 herbs, and this is actually the area that they usually grow in fairly regularly. It is the edge of winter, so it's they're all right. You have to go to an apothecary for one. And do a perception check while you're there.
18 plus 1, 19.
Okay. While you're there at the same sort of counter, as much as there is a counter in this small town, it's more of a stall, really. There's an old woman there, and there's also sort of a younger man. He's around 30s, 40s. He's got some washed out pale skin. This is the sun is nearly always covered with clouds, so it makes sense that he's pretty pale. But that's not the most irregular thing about him. The most irregular thing about this man is that he has fucking blue hair. Legitimately, he has what do you call it? The shaved sides.
Oh,
and,
an undercut?
Oh,
Yeah, he has an undercut, and it's dark blue. And because it's an undercut, you can tell this isn't just dyed. This is just how his hair grows. And he's just speaking just very quick, kind of a thick Scottish accent. And he's he kind of haggling a little casually with the lady at the stall, come on now. you Dolores, I gave you 3 coins already, please. And she kind of just without even looking at him, just sets 2 pouches on the counter. And as you walk up, he sort of stands there checking to make sure he has the amount that he wants.
Okay.
And the lady is pretty short. She looks like a little dwarven woman, looks up to you. It's yes.
I don't know what the
Yeah,
things are.
you look
I
through
tell her.
in lavender. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Bonnie has that.
Yeah. And she looks at you and is just lost left of my stock. And she looks at the guy and then just goes back to her fucking herbs.
So the guy bought the last of it.
Yeah. He's still standing there.
Fucking hell. Lucian just turns his eyes to the sky. A single break. 1. Any? Okay. And he turns to the man and just pas de moi? Does he say anything or does he look at me?
He looks at you and just goes, "Hey?"
Would it be too much trouble if I could buy a little bit of that off of you?
Maybe. I'm trying to remember the Scottish accent. What would you give me in exchange?
Money. I don't. He's so tired.
I do an insight check.
This poor man.
Yeah, he like sees like the full tiredness and he's like, give me a drink at the tavern and I'll give you the whole pouch.
Fair enough. Did you want me to join you for that drink, or can I just?
Sure, I'll take the company.
Okay. Lucian internally, I wasn't asking. Okay. And he just claps the man on the shoulder and walks him over to the tavern. I'm assuming it's the same one we're staying in.
Yeah, there's only one tavern really.
Yeah.
And he sort of like walks in. He's just been talking like kind of a mile a minute, like the whole like it's not that far to the tavern. It's like maybe like 50 yards or something. But he's been just like talking a mile a minute and he's like, you're pretty lucky to have run into me with just this. I mean, I was really just looking for I do like my tea a certain way, so it's just a little bit irritating when I can't get it the way that I like.
So true.
But I can really just deal with spearmint, I suppose. And he just like you get to the tavern, he opens the door, and like the rest of you are in there as well. And at the bar is Van Helsing. As he turns around, he like sees this guy and he goes, "Oh, you're meeting us later." I'm getting stuck in the Scottish.
You can do this. You can do this. I believe in you.
I believe in you. I thought you were meeting us later. And the man kind of like looks at Van Helsing as like, well, usually, I suppose I thought you were just getting a bit older. Thought you'd move a bit slower. And they just kind of like look at each other, and it's like
Lucian has made a beeline to the bar. He's paying no attention to this, and he's buying this man's drink. He's not.
He's like, got a free drink from the young gentleman over here. Well, not free. I am actually giving him something for it. And he like waves a little pouch and then like sets it on the bar. Like he goes in between Abraham and
Lucian.
Sorry, it is like 2:30 a.m.
No, you're good. You're good.
And he just like takes like it's like a little like wine glass of like stuff that he's just like having, and he looks at the group of you, and yeah, he looks at the group of you, and he kind of like smiles as he just like looks at you, and I want y'all to do an insight check.
Oh,
delicious.
Insight.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got an insight at least.
That was a nat 1, so I'm gonna use my lucky feet and I'll re-roll it.
I'm gonna say again, so I rolled a 15 plus 6, so 21? I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
I got a 12.
I have not rolled under a 10 under a 12 this entire session. And I don't want to jinx it.
I got 15.
But I feel like something bad's gonna happen next session. I'm just gonna roll once. I'm running out of luck, guys. But 21.
Okay. Yeah. So, you guys, okay, who rolled below like a 5 or a 10? Okay. Lori, you're still just like in a funk of yourself that you're like seeing this guy and not really interested.
Yeah, he's not being nice to people.
Yeah.
He's gloomy over in the corner, broody.
Yeah. And then did everybody get above like who got like 10 to 15?
Me.
You? Okay. And Lucian. Okay, you registered that this is just like kind of an uncaring guy. Like he doesn't really mind doing this. He's just kind of in it for the fun of it. Phelan, you look at this man and you see inside you like look at his eyes and you see that there's like a literal strike of like he's bored to death and this is the most entertainment that he's had for a while. And there's an edge of madness in his fucking eyes. Like literally, he's not insane, but he's not like
It's insane.
He's if you pick a fight with this man, he will not pull a punch.
What do you mean pull a punch?
Hot.
Like he won't fight,
Like-
or he will fight?
No, he won't hesitate.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He wouldn't have a second thought. He would have fun with the fight.
So she's gonna look at her uncle and be like, "Oh, he's perfect."
In many ways, darling. And
Because in her head, she's like, "You need to be a bit crazy to go into Dracula's castle, especially not knowing what's gonna happen." And she's like, "Oh, he's perfect."
And he sort of just leans hard and like the sort of low version where you have your legs stretched out, and he's a tall guy. He's 6'3", 6'4". Woo. Yeah,
Big.
guy.
I'm
He's
in love with this man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hot. Kind of
He's really scrawny too. He's a little rat man.
I love
That's my
I love
type.
Chaucer from the Canterbury, from A Knight's Tale.
Scrawny little men, fucking love
Trudging.
them.
To
That is my
trudge.
type.
And he sort of leans into the bar and he goes, "So, what's the plan then?" And with that, we sort of fade out.
No,
Wow.
no, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
We don't? Oh,
I was-
you're the DM, of course.
No, sorry. I was just
No.
so into it. Fade
You're
out,
good.
okay?
But what a fun session. What a fun
Oh.
time.
Traumatic
Thank you
ass
so
session.
much for this.
Hmm.
I'm so excited to be back.
Yeah.
And please come back, everybody, for next month when we actually get to the castle.
Can't wait to see all of us try to have a good time fighting when none of us are communicating.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Can't wait to see who
Yeah.
pairs up with who.
I already have some ideas. Just because
I have an idea.
Yeah, just because Phelan needs Bonnie's artificer skills.
Ooh, no, that's not
Me
happening.
running.
That's not
really?
happening.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
thought,
happening.
You're
I
not-
thought it was gonna be Lucian and Bonnie.
Lucian and Bonnie is
Oh,
gonna happen.
okay.
What's
that's
fun is you never
right
even got the
behind
guy's
Lucy.
name yet. I should have introduced him. His name is Mick Maddock.
Mick Maddock?
Yeah, Mick Maddock.
I already know who he is. I already know.
Yeah, he's Mick Maddock.
Who's that?
My husband, that's who he is.
Mick Maddock, a
Blue-
madman.
He's got
who
blue
likes
hair.
tea.
He's scrawny. He's hot.
He is mad and likes
Every
tea.
NPC.
He's
is
mad.
hot.
and he
Every
likes
NPC
tea.
is hot, whether I say it or not. Anyway, that's the end of season 2. Not season 2.
Oh, damn.
Damn,
Wow.
that was it?
End of episode 1 of arc 1.
Next Saturday is Wayward Wanderers again. Which gonna be exciting. And then after that it's Paragon, then the Mortal Reverie, then Frankenpunk again. Just follow us on all the socials to get, hold of it. Do join our Discord. We have fun there. And yeah. And we'll figure out who's gonna be on Question Bound in the last week of the
Yeah.
month. So any last beautiful words, Miss DM?
Rest in peace.
He says.
Oh god,
And he
bye!
Bye.
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 Ciao.
Welcome to Glassrook University, new home to genius and adversity. In our hallways are characters with backstories tragic who fight against fate with metal or magic. These familiar stories with echoes still sounding leave blood on the floor and hearts yet pounding. A game of steam, madness, or hope not yet sunk. I am pleased to present Frankenpunk.